The Galactic Soul, the Honorable Brother, the Revolutionary yourself, Darius Lockhart, and I'm here to tell you to watch Powerbombshells every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on the Fight Game Media YouTube channel. That's right, every Sunday at 1 p.m., and that's on time, every time, because when we stand together, what time is it? That's right, it's nation time.
Welcome to Powerbombshells 203. This is our birthday. I'm Mel, that's Ian, that's Keela Cash, fresh off of an Elimination Chamber rap recap not hours ago on this very network. How are you girls doing on this fine birthday Sunday?
I am doing great. It's our birthday. It's going to be like 75 degrees today. I was outside before I came in. I was outside with my dogs before the show, and you're lucky we were having a birthday party because I might have just been like, you know what? I'm going to sit outside today, and Keela can just talk about wrestling.
Do not tempt me with the weather outside here either, because it is very seasonably warm today. Yes. Mm-hmm. It is hot in the South. I'm very happy about that. And after surviving Elimination Chamber 12 hours ago, I'm very happy to be in a sane environment with two of my very favorite people.
With me wearing this hat, I feel very sane. Got my tinfoil hat right in the back there. She's you're always so kind. It's nice to have you here on our birthday party.
Yes.
Sam found her glasses.
I did find my glasses. Hopefully they're going to stay on because they're over top of my glasses. And they were, actually, I think I'm going to have to, I had them on and then I moved my hair and then it didn't want it. And I was like, no, we are about to go on. It's just going to have to be here. So hopefully they'll stay. We'll see. I kept forgetting to put in my contacts and didn't have time. So we'll just do this. But hopefully they'll stay. We'll see. Or I might get annoyed with them and pull them off.
So I mean, no one will blame you because we all know that wearing annoying party outfits can be annoying sometimes.
Can be, yes. But thank you to everybody in the chat who has wished us a happy birthday and a happy potiversary. And people are excited that Keela is here with us once again.
I mean,
so thank you for being thank you for being with us, and then also because you had to sit through Elimination Chamber. I was on Collision coverage last night, so I just
stop bragging.
I did go back and I did go back and the people at Wrestling Inc. did a really good job with coverage last night, so I did go back and read their stuff. So bless you for making it through the Elimination Chamber.
Oh God, it was a show, and I'm very happy to once again be here with people that can center me, because that was an experience. It wasn't a horrible show, but Lord, it could have been an email.
I saw when I saw the results, I was like, oh, okay, well. I mean, I guess I did, like, we were predicting when we did, because we always do predictions for Wrestling Inc. Amongst ourselves. And I was like, I went with, like, most people were going with, like, what's the most boring SmackDown? I mean, what's the most boring match for Jade? And so I was like, oh, Tiffany. Doing Tiffany Stratton again. And then I saw they went with Rhea, and I was like, well, I mean, I guess I didn't predict the future that she would drop the tag titles on Friday in order to set her up to win on Saturday. I was just like, oh, okay. And then the whole how they did the Randy Orton, I mean, I didn't predict Randy Orton to win. I just assumed it would be Cody, but I saw what happened, and then I saw that Cody's getting a title match on Friday anyway. So I was like, oh, this is the most WWE thing ever.
Listen, they have basically watered down Elimination Chamber. You get a match at WrestleMania. You get a match at WrestleMania. You get a match at WrestleMania. This is going to be like a fatal 5-way. I can see it now. I see the vision more clearly than the actual vision does.
I was about to say, well, the vision practically doesn't exist anymore because it's just Austin Theory and Logan Paul at this point. So, and then I saw. So I didn't get a chance to listen to your show, and I'm sure you've already talked about this, and we'll probably talk about it on Monday. But do you want to what were your thoughts on Danhausen?
Well, it was a tale of two debuts. He came out, it went well, then it continued and it went south. And it's going to be interesting. It will be it's going to be a test of creative and a test of presentation and a test of where he should fit. Right. Is it on the main roster? Is it on NXT? Is it in AAA? I think it's AAA.
I think it's AAA too. I finally got a chance to watch the entrance last night a bit after Collision, and it was very much Danhausen. Like, I loved it because I love Danhausen, and it was very him for the people who are familiar with him and the people who get him. And it's funny because I saw when the dancers were out there, I was like, this is cool. It's probably inspired by his wife. And then it turns out his wife was one of the dancers and she choreographed it. Because his wife is an award-winning burlesque dancer. And so I thought that
he actually works in so it's Theater Bazaar, which is I have friends in common with his wife. So because the circle is very, very, and I've been.
You told me about that. Yeah,
because Danhausen's from here in Detroit.
Yeah,
region. He's from this area anyway. So he was on the local news one day because our Fox affiliate, there's a couple of guys on there who are huge wrestling nerds. Huge. I met one at a wrestling thing locally and we took a picture together and chatted about it. And I was like, you guys really seem like you're having a lot of fun with the wrestling stuff and no one else gets it. And they're like, yep. So, but when they had him on for an interview one day and he mentioned her and I was like, oh, no way. She works over there. I used to know the stage manager over there.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
She's off doing, way different things. She travels the world now. And I'm not kidding. And I'm not trying to make innuendo here. She actually is a sword swallowing clown. So, I mean, this is, that's the circles. But so I know a bunch of people in common and I was like, oh, wait a minute. It's like all my mutuals when I went to follow her because I love that spot because I knew the spot. Right. And I was like, oh, great. And I'm like, oh, wow, we have like a half dozen mutuals because theater and Carney stuff. And so she's very cool. And that's why I followed their story. And they have I'm sorry to break in here, but they have those two have been through a lot, and
they sure have.
I'm happy for them on the side of I hope this helps their family thrive.
Yeah, exactly. And my thought was, so when I saw it and saw like the reaction and I thought it was like for Danhausen, I thought it was really well done. It was very much a Danhausen. Like it fit him perfectly for people who know who he is. But then I was talking to another Slack about it, and I was like, that was a very Danhausen entrance. I enjoyed it, and he is going to wrestle Mr. Iguana in AAA. Yes. I feel like AAA is their ear is going to be one of two things. He's going to be the Raw version of R-Truth, where they just stick him in the back and he does funny little bits, or he's going to be in AAA. I mean, he could go to NXT. Obviously, he and Ethan Page are very close in real life. He and Ricky Starks are Ricky Saints. They're good friends, even though I've heard Ricky Saints may be on his way up to the main roster. But so they could do so. I think he would fit okay in NXT, but I feel like he's somebody that could get over really easily in AAA, I think.
It's when you guys say it, I mean, just again, totally outside the spectrum before we hear Kayla's answer to you is that when you guys say Danhausen in AAA from a just completely I don't watch any of the stuff, I go, ooh, I would watch that. So at least from that perspective, because I never thought about him doing lucha, but he has done a bunch of independent lucha shows here in the Detroit metro area that he's thrown, including where we saw Dynamite recently. So it actually does, that's what he's been doing. So I hope I would watch that.
He is very, and I don't want to keep putting Keela off, but he's a really unique character in wrestling in a way where it is hard to stand out in the wrestling business, especially in TV that don't know what to do with him because AEW did not know what to do with him. at all. And I know that there's like, oh, well, he didn't want to wrestle on Saturdays. Well, then why do you still have him contracted? That's insubordination. You're not doing your job. So I'm sure with your corporate lawyers, you can figure out a way to get him out of his contract if that's correct. And maybe it is. And I'm not saying that he's not blameless in his part of it, but in AEW's part of it, they could have done. I mean, we got Hookhausen for a little bit, but when you have ROH, and I mentioned this last week, you've got MXN TV, you've got the Outrunners and Dalton Castle. Like, if you put in the effort, you could have figured out a way to make him work. And if it's true that he didn't want to work Saturdays, or it's because of the bootleg shirts or whatever, then I don't understand why you would keep him under contract and continue paying him when you have corporate lawyers who can get you out of contracts. But I don't know. But it feels
from this. I mean,
but at some point you're just gonna who is worth paying to sit at home? Like, is Danhausen really gonna be somebody that is gonna be somebody they're gonna make money off of him merch wise? But is he gonna be like, he's not gonna be on TV every week? Like, Hobbs has more, or Keys has more of a chance of being bigger than a Danhausen, and you can't keep everybody. You can't just at some point you have to cut your losses. And if they go to the other place, they go to the other place. Like, I don't know. It feels, I'm happy that Danhausen is getting the bag. Because when you're that unique, you need to be able to make money where you can off that character as long as you can. And Keila, what were you going to, I'm sorry, we kept going. What were you going to, I think you were going to interject something about Danhausen.
Yeah, I think his true calling is AAA. I think that outside of you watching the main WWE product, which isn't great most of the time, AAA is a very well produced show in its own bubble. On Saturday nights, you can fire up the YouTube channel and you will enjoy yourself for a good hour or two every Saturday. The Worlds Collide shows are pretty good too. Yeah. I think he's a great fit for that brand, and he will get over so much in Mexico, in my personal opinion. He can be used in small spurts in the main roster, obviously for comedy purposes, but I think that for him to truly find his calling, AAA is right there, and that's a good thing. It has mass appeal, it has international outreach, and you will get a bag.
Merch.
Right.
Exactly. Mexico loves merch.
Exactly.
Mexico is the merch capital of wrestling, I'm pretty sure.
Well, and he already was making a ton of, like, that's the thing. Like, Danhausen is very good at making money for himself.
Oh gosh, yeah, he was like, I mean, I forgot and remembered.
Like, he's got somebody. I laughed because it's true. Somebody tweeted last night and said Pro Wrestling Tees is never going to financially recover from this.
They might file for Chapter 11 after this
because he makes so much money. As
he may have been holding that whole company up,
and then he also has, like, because I subscribed to his Patreon back when he was on the indies, and like, I'm on a lower tier, but like, he constantly, for the like higher tier people, like, he's constantly doing so many cool things for merch for his fans. Like, he's like painted pumpkins for them. He has like had trading cards. He has a whatnot that he's constantly doing stuff, and then he was doing, because he wasn't wrestling, he was doing a ton of conventions. And so he's got, like, he has his fan base. Whether WWE taps into it is, another story, but he has his fan base who will support. Like, I mean, he's already got a shirt. Like, it's already, WWE obviously had the shirt, like, as soon as he debuted, it was already available on their website. So I think, yeah, I could see him. I don't know how much I'll see him in WWE. I think he'll probably be more in AAA if they do anything with him. I mean, that's the thing. Like, do I think WWE will do a better job? Probably not. I mean, unless they send him to AAA. But I mean, get your bag and find a way to. And like you said, him and his wife have been through so much in the last year and a half or so. That I hope that he's successful in whatever he deems to be successful.
You guys are so cute.
I was just reading something in the
Yeah, our commenters are very adorable. You guys rock.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay. If Danhausen's not for you, that's perfectly fine. Danhausen is definitely not for everybody, but for those of us who are fans of him, like, I want him to be successful, and I want him to make money, and I want him to do well. I want him to thrive. And so, but if he's not for you, then he's not for you, and that's okay too.
Anyway.
But while we're on the WWE topic, and Keela is also another great reason that Keela is here, because on Monday night we got, because it was in Georgia, in AJ Styles' home state, they did a tribute show to him. So throughout the night they were showing clips of like when he debuted for WWE and when he won titles and just different things throughout his career that they did throughout the night. And then finally, thankfully, like one of my colleagues, and they were correct, said like the last 40 minutes of the show saved it, because Monday was a rough show. Did not help that they had, which we talked to prior, that they brought out Brock Lesnar to clearly as a response to Janelle Grant speaking publicly. And now they're going to put him on TV for 5 weeks in a row. Also in response to that. The women's match was really, really good that they had. And then I believe it was the women's match that they had right before. And then they brought out AJ, and before that, they played a tribute video using Creed. So they did that correctly. The little tribute video. Oh, and then throughout the night, we see stuff backstage. So they brought back, they brought in the Good Brothers. They brought in Michin, because there was a little period of time where seemed like such a random group of the OC, which was AJ, the Good Brothers, and Mia Yim. So they brought Mia Yim over from SmackDown and she was with the Good Brothers. They brought in Kaz. Then Kaz is walking by, and the door opens to like a broiler room type thing, and Abyss comes out, who obviously he actually works backstage he works in creative for, or wait, is it creative or is he an agent? Maybe he's an agent.
He's in creative. Yeah,
okay, it is creative. Okay, I was right. And then they also, there was somebody else they brought in. I feel like there was one other person they brought in, and I cannot think off the top of my head. Oh, and they brought in Robert Roode. Obviously, he works backstage, so they brought him.
Borash.
Yes, that's who it was, Jerry Borash. Yes, and he works for AAA.
Yes.
He's been down there because WWE hired him, and then once they purchased AAA, they sent Jeremy Borash down there. I feel like there's one person I'm missing. I can't remember off the top of my head, and that when I saw Kaz, I was like.
Was it Petey?
Yes, that's what it was.
Petey,
because they brought Petey Williams, and I was like, please do a destroyer on somebody. Because he is the inventor of my favorite move. So I don't care if he hates it. It's my favorite, and he's gonna have to get over it. That people still do it. And so this one I was like, are they gonna bring in Dixie? Like they
Oh Lord, if they did that, God Almighty in heaven.
I mean, they did have Dixie on the first episode of TNA, so I'm sure that TNA on AMC, so I'm sure AJ saw her there.
Oh my God.
So it was really cool. So then of course they bring AJ out, and AJ's talking about, his career and all that stuff. And he was like, well, people kept asking, like, why didn't I leave my gloves in the ring after my match? And he was like, it's because I wanted to do it at home. Takes off the vest, takes off the gloves. Undertaker's music hits. And I was like, oh no, wait, I think he brought up his family, his wife and kids. And of course, Samoa Joe's voice saying, Wendy. What I heard when he's like, my wife Wendy, and I was like, Samoa Joe is being triggered somewhere. He's gonna pop out of nowhere in a minute maybe that. And so they bring in the wife and the kids. Well, then Undertaker's music hits, and I was like, and they had brought out, by this point, the locker room is out. Front and center is the man who hates to be on TV, Paul Levesque. But he's front and center of the locker room.
The greatest booker that's ever lived on the planet Earth.
The one who last night wouldn't even go out with out on the desk because he didn't want to be booed again. So he was like, I'm going to do an interview.
Well,
backstage.
Desks are akin to reading, and he doesn't like to read. So.
Well, that's where they were putting him was they would bring him to the panel. And the last time he got booed really bad because John Cena lost. And so now he doesn't even want to do that. He was interviewed somewhere safely backstage where nobody could boo him and hurt his ego.
In a cage of a safe space, in a crystal snowflake cage.
Right. Yes, exactly. So anyway, Undertaker's music hit, and I was like, is this MF really about to challenge him for WrestleMania?
Nikki, you popped me.
What is happening? And like people in the chat, they were like, God, I thought that too. I thought he was going to. I was like, oh my God, they made him sign a 1-match contract because they need to sell WrestleMania tickets. They're gonna do AJ, and some because when he came out, one of the other writers was like, do the meme. Where AJ standing up with Undertaker. So I was like, oh my God. I was like, their WrestleMania tickets are that bad. They are about to have Undertaker challenge AJ Styles right now. Like, wow. Then, and like AJ's face, like AJ clearly didn't know Undertaker was coming out there. He probably thought he was getting challenged to a match because he looked at him like, why is Undertaker out here? And so it was
like 2004. It's when I saw that WrestleMania back in Seattle.
And so then Undertaker,
are they going to start playing the Roland song too?
He came out to American Badass, and he rode his little motorcycle.
Okay, so yeah, I mean that was during that WrestleMania. They had was it Linkin Park?
No,
who sings that song?
No, it was Kid Rock. No, Limp Bizkit does Roland.
Limp Bizkit. That's it.
Kid Rock is the other one.
But the Limp Bizkit where they would keep rolling.
No, they didn't do that one. They did American Badass, and he came out.
Because he was the American Badass, and they were using that, and he was one of the headliners for that show. Like he was one of the main draws for that event. Right. So it was like he was everywhere, and that song. Oh my God, I have fun. See, it's triggering me.
You know what's funny? A side note, really quick. When you said that, Josiah said the other day. He was in a Uber and Greenlight came on, that Give Me the Greenlight song that they played on 5 different pay-per-views, and he said it was triggering. And I was like, your Uber driver just thought you were on the road to WrestleMania. That's all. And he was like, I hated it. He's like, I can't escape that song.
And then he drove by a WrestleMania sign and couldn't help but point at it.
Right, exactly. So anyway, it turns out what he was really there for was to let AJ know that they were inducting him into the WWE Hall of Fame this year. And AJ clearly didn't know, and I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God we're not getting a match with Undertaker in the year 2026. I was like, I mean, I know they're desperate to sell WrestleMania tickets, so I would not put anything past them. But it was and so AJ looked obviously very surprised and celebrated with his family. It goes off air, and the crowd is, the locker room's coming out to celebrate with him, and then they were showing pictures later. Shinsuke was taking, I think Shinsuke apparently, as I've learned, is a very good photographer. Mm-hmm. Shinsuke was taking pictures. I think CM Punk got a picture of Dragon Lee sitting on Undertaker's motorcycle, and Dragon Lee was excited about it. So they had a good all time. So and then AJ went on Talking Shop-A-Mania. And he was like, well, people were saying they were only inducting me into the Hall of Fame so I don't go to AEW. And he was like, I make my own choices. I was like, okay, AJ. I was like, it sounds like...
I do what I want. Nobody tells me what to do. I'm the boss of myself.
Right. That's very much how it came off. And so I was just like, all right, AJ. Relax. So
I'm the boss of my own flat world.
Yeah, exactly. I run this flat world. And so then supposedly it came from PW Insider, so they are some would say a mouthpiece for WWE. But they said the next day that he has supposedly signed a new contract to work backstage, because he even said in that same interview with I do what I want, I make my own choices, that he wants to mentor younger wrestlers and supposedly is staying in WWE to do that, and I guess will not be coming to AEW, is I guess what he was getting out. But I mean, it was a really nice, AJ deserves it. I'm glad for him. Sorry you get inducted with corporate officer number 3. And can we talk about how much they airbrushed those Hall of Fame photos?
From 24 freaking years ago.
Right.
Her picture is 24 years ago when she was a SmackDown general manager. That is an old picture. They are trying it. Stop it.
Yeah, because I saw the picture of AJ and I was like, why did they? I was like, did they like? I was like, yes. I was like, did they like Photoshop him? And then I was like, no, they airbrushed him. And then I saw the picture of Stephanie and I was like, I mean, y'all went way hard on those.
Yes, they did.
Jeez.
And took the oldest picture they could possibly find.
They really did.
It's like when they take your driver's license picture from like 20 years ago and they're finally like, okay, it's been 15 or 20 years. You need to come in here, take a new picture. You're like, yeah. No, that's not me anymore. You're right. I should probably take a new picture. They got her driver's license from like 2010.
It seems like it.
I mean, with filters these days and AI, I'm sorry, A1, you can fix all kinds of things. Yes, I'm happy for AJ at least. I hope.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Kilo, what are your thoughts on inducting him and the celebration? And do you think they were trying to prevent him from coming to AEW, or do you think this was the plan?
Well, I think that in the beginning, I like to say in the beginning, that he was probably going to dip and run. And then they thought to themselves, we will look very foolish if we have someone have their last match in WWE and then they just leapfrog over to AEW. Retirement be damned. So thankfully, they were in Atlanta and they could do this in his home state for a proper retirement. And I thought to myself, somewhere Goldberg is very upset that this man gets a 40-minute tribute on Monday Night Raw, and I got off-air honors on YouTube.
You sure did.
NBC said sign off.
Yeah,
and I'm sure he was pissed off. Like, you didn't give me no grand video package. You didn't commission Creed. You didn't pay the good stuff for me. So F this. So AJ's like, thank you. I appreciate it. I want to lay my gloves here in Atlanta, and I just want to do it at home. Cool.
Right.
Undertaker comes out, and I will give him this. He has fooled me now twice. He comes out dead serious. And he tells AJ, what you doing? Like, I thought the same thing you were thinking. Are we really going to have a match at WrestleMania? Are things that dire? We have to run this back again. But thankfully, he says, well, you hate to see me coming and going. And I tell you where you're going. You're going into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I said, well, you know what? Taker can be the new face of Publishers Clearinghouse. And he can... He's a big check. What a big check and balloons. He is now the Hall of Fame prize patrol. And he's like, congratulations, you're in the Hall of Fame. I thought it was very cute. I was entertained. But this was clearly a way for him not to jump to AEW because he was thinking about it. It was very obvious.
Okay.
The matches ran
themselves. I was like, am I just that cynical, or is it because I've been watching WWE long enough and I know how they operate?
I mean, you can smell it a mile away. Like, there was an angle afoot here because you just can't gift wrap an AJ Styles to AEW. So you be preemptive and you do what you must to keep him. And that's what they did.
Yeah, and Curry had I thought this too, that AJ get inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame before TNA felt kind of weird, and it felt like we have to induct him first, because a lot of people made the point also is like he's getting inducted before John Cena.
Yes, that's crazy. Batista's been waiting 5 years to get in. He can't get in.
Exactly, and so for them to, and I did say what I forgot when they said, they were inducting him into the Hall of Fame, I was like, oh, Will Ospreay is punching the air right now.
Oh, he's irate. That man's
he
like,
is not getting his dream match.
Not right now.
You bastards. That man was recovering, doing his 9 to 5 in PT, and you was like, you're not gonna give me my match.
He is trying to hurry back. He's like, you ain't giving me this match at all at Wembley. So actually, that's probably not when that was going to happen. It's probably going to happen elsewhere. But still, I was like, oh no, he has been trying his damnedest. He's been pulling out Styles clashes, getting on the Twitter machine.
It's true.
He has been, poor thing. I was like, oh no, poor Will Ospreay. Yeah, you're right about that. Fernando says Goldberg has Asuka and AJ Styles on his dartboard.
He said, these two, that lady. I will never forget that lady.
That lady.
Oh, he called her that lady.
Yeah,
yes, that lady.
Oh, lovely. Oh man,
yeah,
I love when men pull out that lady or that woman.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he didn't even call her name because he's so salty that she broke. And she legitimately broke his record. It wasn't a WCW.
No.
We just padding this. She legitimately broke
his
Nothing better than when a lady makes a dude mad like that.
Yeah.
I was like, has to you can't even call us by our name. You can't even spit our name out of your stupid mouse.
And Asuka, I can't remember exactly what she said, but she handled it in a very classy way because of course she had to. I mean,
well, she is Asuka. I mean, she does have a long hit. I mean, my assumption, and before you answered my question, obviously, because you're so smart and know me so well, that I was going to say, how'd she handle it? Which exactly as Asuka would, because she's freaking awesome and doesn't care about some dude that doesn't even think the world is round. So
right, she just
she has no time for that.
Asuka does not have time, and she'll tell you then she does not have time. You'll know.
And even
you'll know. And she's still going. She was in the Elimination Chamber match last night.
Nice. I love that gal. I was so happy that we get to see her on the SmackDown when we took my mother-in-law.
Yeah, God, me too. I love her, and she was.
I mean, she didn't come out for very long, but I didn't even care because I love her so much. It was just nice to see her wrestle.
Yeah, the NXT one of the NXT tapings that we went to, Asuka was on it, and it was
nice.
It was really cool to see her. And she's amazing, and she's incredible, and also just good for her for getting under Goldberg's skin. By doing a better job and having a real streak. That's probably what really bothers him. Hers was some padded, made up streak. Like hers was a legitimate.
You know what I like? My Schadenfreude is that dude goes out and before he goes to the ring and spends extra money to have targets specially made of specific people like Asuka and now AJ and all. So he will literally spend money to hate on these people so much. So in my brain, I've totally booked that he has special targets when he goes to the range for all of these people he hates. Just because he's so Bret Hart is for headshots.
That's the bullseye. That's the bullseye.
Every time. And then he's like, I don't know, I'm feeling working on my, body stuff. And he's like, I'll throw that woman up there or whatever. I mean, it's just, I just have this in my head that this dude wastes his money because people are so petty that that's what he's doing with his money and instead of something productive. That was total speculation. I have nothing on that. I just made that up in my brain because it's birthday day and I was doing games and now that's where my brain's at. So I just fantasy booked his, I don't even know if they allow that dude to have a gun, but I just picture him as a guy that goes to the range. He just seems like one of those guys.
Yeah.
And I'm from an area where there's a lot, I see a lot of those guys and know a lot of those guys. So it's they're very weirdly recognizable.
Yeah. Yeah. Funny how that is.
And even though we drag on Paul Levesque, rightfully so, I will say, as soon as the Goldberg said that, there was a video package the very next week on Monday Night Raw highlighting his career highlights.
That was funny as shit. I was like, all right, whoever did the Asuka highlights package, kudos to you because that was hilarious. That
it was peak petty because deep down, Paul Levesque still hates Goldberg. He says, "Run the package."
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, these people do not.
That definitely was probably a Paul Levesque call. Like, okay.
I feel like if something gets in the craw of a carny, it's never, or a con, like one of these kinds of like that personality, it's never leaving. Those people will like take that grudge to their grave. They will like
grave. Yeah.
I mean, it's weird and wild, but they will do it.
They will.
And I mean, I don't have the energy for that, but I've met so many people that it's like, I'm gonna pour like 2/3 of my being into hating you, and I'm like, that's so fascinating to me. Where do you find the energy?
Yeah.
But exactly. I mean, you know, also I can sit back with my funny hats and my like 3D glasses and my popcorn that I have, and I can actually just enjoy the fun. So I have props, everybody. I have props and sound effects today. Yes, all over the place.
Mel is she is very prepared for the birthday.
I like parties, okay? I'm hyped for our birthday.
As we should be. And then before we move on from WWE, I do want to say send well wishes out to Bronson Reed because bless his heart, he can't catch a break. He was in Monday, he was in the and I was covering this match. He was in the Elimination Chamber qualifying match, and at some point in the match, he tore his distal, not elbow, it was the distal
biceps.
Thank you, bicep. I was like, why can't I think of the word? And could not finish the match. He was out on the sidelines, and he was supposed to have won that match and gone on to the Elimination Chamber. And so they called an audible, and it was Jey Uso who ended up winning and getting put in that spot, unfortunately. And Bronson he just came back. How long was he out from that last injury? Do you remember?
He was out for 6 months, came back last May, and now he's out again. So he was not back a full year.
No, and he's already had surgery. He had surgery apparently yesterday. I saw the picture of it, or maybe Friday. But he has had surgery and is now on his road to recovery. I don't know if I've heard how long he's supposed to be out, but Bronson Reed seems like a really good dude. I was a fan of him when he was on the Indies, when he was Jonah Rock, when he was Jonah in New Japan. Mm-hmm. Big fan of that guy, and I hate that this keeps happening to him, and I hate that. And injuries are bad anytime, but when you're this close to WrestleMania is even worse. And then of course they got rid of their Jey Uso problem
very quickly.
So then Friday night I was on live coverage for SmackDown. And that's what they opened it with. But side note, I forgot I was on live.
Did they like freeze him in carbonite or something?
No, they attacked him. They had him attacked, and he was before the show started. He was attacked, and they were like, "We're backstage. Somebody's been attacked," and they wouldn't say who, but it looked like you could kind of. Somebody was like, "I can see his tattoo. It looks like it's Jay." They opened the show. He's being put into an ambulance. Jacob Fatu is yelling at Adam Pearce and was like, "You better find who did this." And then Trick Williams is like, well, the way I see it, 1 man down, 4 more to go. And then Javon was like, because he's also in the Elimination Chamber, and Javon was too. And Javon was like chastising him and like, don't be like that. And Cody's like screaming, what is going on around here? And then Drew McIntyre's in this yelling from the crowd coming up through the stairs, and so it was a big mess. But I had forgotten I was on SmackDown live coverage until it was almost 7:00, and I asked my editor, I was like, "Hey, can I cover the New Japan show?" Because there's AEW wrestlers, might be some title changes. He said, "Aren't you doing live coverage for me tonight?" And I completely forgot because we talked. I'm doing some live coverage in April, and I remember that was the most recent part of that conversation, and so I remembered that part, but forgot about SmackDown. And I was like, shit. So he's like, I'm so sorry you have to watch SmackDown instead of better wrestling. And so at least it was. I mean, there were times it was just dragging, but there was some entertaining things, thankfully. But yeah, I was like, so they got rid of their Jey Uso problem. Then what should have been the main event was the women's tag match, because that match was really good, especially because they did a title change. So Lash Legend and Nia Jax now have the titles. And then they did a match to determine who would take Jey Uso's spot in the Elimination Chamber the next night. And it was between Logan Paul and Jacob Fatu. And Jacob Fatu had that match won until Drew McIntyre got involved so that Logan Paul could win. And then I heard Logan Paul eliminated 3 people yesterday. But obviously it was to set up the Seth Rollins return. But still. I wonder how that would have played out. I'm guessing he would have come after Bronson had Bronson still been in the match.
Yeah, that would have been the plan.
I guess that, yeah, I wasn't thinking about it until I said it out loud. I guess that was the plan, that Seth Rollins would have come after Bronson. So I guess it works that he went after Logan Paul instead, but I don't like that Logan Paul eliminated 3 people, including the first one was Javon Evans.
Oh.
I heard.
Bothered me, almost crushed his head with his finisher. Annoyed me.
I did hear. I haven't seen the spot, but somebody was like, "Did he at least get to do something cool before he got eliminated?" And I think what did he do? Like a cutter from the top of the pod or something?
Not even that. He did like a frog splash off the pod.
Okay.
And then Logan Paul immediately hit him with his finisher to beat him. And I was like, whatever. I don't care. The disrespect. Then he pinned Trick.
So disrespectful.
And LA Knight. I'm like,
oh my God, bless LA Knight. Like, I am not an LA Knight fan. And I saw the spot where his foot slipped, and so he messed up his move. And I laughed, but then I felt bad because I was like, even though I don't like him, it made me feel bad for him. So, and then he immediately got eliminated. Logan Paul. So I was like, yikes. He did it. Oh, yeah, it was, bless him. So yeah, it sounds like Elimination Chamber was an event.
An event carried by the women and Punk and Balor. That's all. As all per the usual.
Standard procedure. Consistent.
Jay was not in the match because he got taken out on SmackDown. And so Logan Paul won his spot. So Jay was not in the match.
Yes. He couldn't need to do those spots.
On Monday, when he was in the qualifying match, yes, he did yeet.
Yes, he did.
On the way down.
Crazy how fast someone can fall out of grease.
Oh, yeah. Lord. The fall has been amazing. But hey, they ran into the ground and now they have to pay for their sins.
Yep. Right. Yep. Exactly.
Man.
Yeah, so hopefully, but anyway, speedy recovery to Bronson.
Yeah,
Reed,
definitely.
Hopefully his recovery goes smoothly and he is back on television soon, because the vision might not exist by the time he gets back, but which they should just listen. If all somebody said blurred vision before, and look, if all you've got is Austin Theory and Logan Paul in your faction, then you might as well call it quits.
Listen, Paul Heyman needs to divest from this immediately. It's time to call it quits. Divest from this faction. Like, Roman, did you need me? Because I've learned my ways. I've learned a lesson. I'm going back home.
Right. I mean, he will just be, I'm assuming these next 5 weeks with Brock Lesnar, nobody's going to answer his open challenge until the last week.
Yeah, and it will be Oba Femi, and then Oba, please do me a solid, Lord above. Whoop that man's ass at WrestleMania. Smash him, destroy him, just mollywop him from me.
Please, I am begging you, Oba.
Please.
But so, in the meantime, in those 4 weeks, Paul Heyman's going to probably cut the same variation of the promo while Brock just stands there and nobody answers his challenge so we're going to waste 4 weeks of my time and make me look
April
at that
13th.
man. Make me look at that man for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Both of those men, actually.
Yeah.
And I'm not. And then, like you said, Oba Femi. Somebody was like, or watch it be, what if they had it be Royce Keys?
Listen, if it's Royce, either or for me, as long as the result remains the same, that you're going to mollywop him at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Royce, Oba, can it be 2-on-1? I'll take it.
I'll take that. Man, if you have a double team of Royce Keys and Obafemi, I mean, Triple H's head would explode because it would be two big black and jacked men on TV at the same time. And
no, he doesn't see color. It's fine.
Would freak him out probably if that was the case. But whatever gets them to take out Brock Lesnar.
Listen, we are on a mission to take care of business. Because word on the street is he's not long term here. If we're going to retire him, he needs to be destroyed out the door to make somebody.
Yes, I know that's right. Like, I mean, they could, like, if they want to do the Gunther thing and just have Gunther continue his retiring people, I'll take it. But if I would gladly take Oba. Just like you said, obliterating him. Like, yes. I would take that. I mean, I don't know that all of Eck would let that happen. Well, but I would greatly enjoy it. I
think he would. I think he would because I think you need to send a statement that there's a new big guy in town. If he can go through John Cena at WrestlePalooza, then we need to return the favor by having Oba just demolish him.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll just whatever gets that man off my TV for good.
Yeah.
Except for him winning. I don't want him to be like, oh, we heard that people are mad about John Cena. We got to let Brock Lesnar win. I would have a problem with that.
Yeah.
And then speaking of injuries, we got another one, unfortunately, in AEW during the tag match with Mega Bad versus Babes of Wrath. Penelope also cannot catch a break. And she was doing a dive crossbody type thing off the top rope. Megan Bayne had Babes of Wrath where they were supposed to be, but somehow they splintered a little bit, and I think Penelope had her back to him and did not realize how far apart they had moved. And then it appears in the video from another angle that Harley moved instead of helped to catch Penelope, and Penelope got injured. And you see her kind of, if you go back and watch, you can see her down on the, like down next to the ring. She's crying. Medical is talking to her. Then we got that weird finish because they obviously had to call an audible. Lena Cross comes out there and basically interferes. The match gets thrown out, and Babes of Wrath are still the champions. It appeared, I don't know that it's been confirmed. I know they were working to confirm it. It appeared like Mega Bad was supposed to have won those titles, but because Penelope got injured, they obviously could not do the title change then. And then there's a promo that aired afterwards on social media of Penelope standing with a crutch, and she and Megan and Lena Cross, cut a promo and talked about how, like, you took one of ours, so we're going to take one of yours. And like, I think they said destruction has, or something like along the lines of destruction has no time frame or something like that. And then, so it sounds like they're going to run it back at some point. I don't know that it has been, confirmed, but the word going around was that it was an ankle sprain. It doesn't appear to be as serious as they initially thought. And so hopefully she's not going to miss a ton of time. But then in the process, people were bullying Harley, and Harley deactivated her Twitter in the wake of all of this. And it's just a really unfortunate thing all around, especially because Penelope was hurt on a similar move. She was, if I remember right, Julia moved out of the way and then she took out Sky Blue, and that's where she got injured and was out for, which is why they didn't obviously originally win the tag titles back in November, or I guess October. I think the pay-per-view was in November or whenever it was. But a lot of us thought that Mega Bad was supposed to win, but then Penelope got injured. And so these poor, I don't want to say the tag titles are snake bitten yet, but poor Penelope is just, she's having some awful luck. But I really hope that it's not. I hope it's just an ankle sprain and nothing broken, and that she's not going to miss a lot of time. And then I hope that people on the internet leave Harley alone, because she obviously she should have been where she was supposed to be, but things happen, and to bully a wrestler off the internet is stupid.
Tell me you've never done athletics without telling me you've never done athletics is all I have to say to that attitude. And when I heard that was happening and that she had to deactivate her Twitter, I was just like, guys, come on. Like, this is ridiculous. So stupid. People get injured. Yes, things happen all the time. And you have all these armchair people that are sitting at home saying it should be this way, it should be that way. You don't know. You're not in the heat of the moment. You've probably never like done anything that's ever been in that. Like, go hit the ropes sometime. Go see how things go wrong in sporting all the dang time. It's not,
right.
And this is someone said it right in the it's called a high risk move. Crash said that for a reason.
Right.
They know what they're getting into. Relax. These folks know exactly what they're getting themselves into. Women, men, they know what they're doing. They know what athletics they're a part of. So that kind of behavior, if the athlete themselves is not accusing other athletes that they are working with of anything, keep your damn mouth shut because you don't know what's going on.
Right. And you don't think
Penelope didn't come out there and say some shit?
I was like,
Penelope felt that way, and even if she did, because she's professional, she'd probably say so behind closed doors.
Right.
But if you're going to say something about, like, I feel like someone let me down as an athlete, that's a totally different scenario than the internet going around being like, oh, we're all like technical wrestling geniuses this week to the point where we're going to drive Harley Cameron off social media.
Right.
Just stupid.
Yeah. It was really unfortunate. I was like, I was like, and I'm sure Harley and Penelope, like, if she feels like she's not protected or whatever, like, she has every right to feel that way. But I would venture to say that Harley probably felt really bad for her part in it, I would assume. And so being mean on the internet doesn't do anything. Like, you're not helpable. How does that help Penelope? It doesn't help Harley. It doesn't
help anybody.
It doesn't help
anybody.
That's
a bunch of people that have their own narratives.
You're not helping
brains.
Penelope feel better either. Like, what is your point here? Other than, I mean, it goes back to, because we've saw it happen in TNA last year. Like, if you are going to if somebody is going to do a dive, you need to be the people waiting to be landed on need to protect that wrestler. And that's the same case here with any wrestler, whether you're a veteran or you've had, and I think it didn't help that Harley had been tweeting earlier in the day that it was only her 100th match of her career. And so people were saying, oh, well, she's too green. She shouldn't be the one, she shouldn't have been out there and all this stuff. But,
that's BS, because the highest level athletes, the gal from the Olympics, just this past Olympics,
Lindsey Vonn,
she crashed out and busted up her whole knee, and she's probably one of the most professional, well practiced skiers in her class of what she does, and she still had a crash out. That's silly. It's just silly. It doesn't matter. Things happen.
Right.
It's terrible. And it's just bad luck for everyone. How about just being supportive of everybody involved, especially the person that got injured, and not making a whole bunch of stinkies on the internet like a bunch of babies?
Yeah.
That's just my personal That's just one broad opinion.
Crash is correct. At the end of the day, Penelope is fine. That's all anyone should be concerned about, that she didn't break something or need surgery. But you do have to, I think that you do have to maybe look at it like, are we making sure our wrestlers are are we making sure that we're supposed to be? Like, I'm sure Harley will never do that. Hopefully never do that again. Like, she'll probably be more aware of her surroundings when she's going to be, taking, if somebody is going to be coming at her like that, hopefully she will know that she will probably be more cautious of where she has to be. But other than that, Crash is correct. Thankfully, Penelope is okay. Sounds like she's going to not need surgery. Things are going to be better, hopefully, for her. And hopefully she's not going to miss too much time. And then hopefully Megabad finally gets those damn titles, because it's well over. It's well overdue for them. So I hope that they can. I hope that they get that. Yes. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, and I'm glad that you're able to make it here. I mean, but it is that somebody else said that they should retire it and that Penelope should retire that spot. There's 2 injuries for Penelope off the same spot. The first one was Sky Blue was lucky. I mean, I don't know if that's the answer, though. The point is, I mean, that's a fair argument. I'm not going to say that it's not. But also, the people on the other end of that need to also be prepared and need to do their part. So it's not all on Penelope, but it's not all on Harley either, especially, but Megan Bayne did have them. She was holding them in place and let go and moved right when Penelope was coming down. So Megan tried her best to get them where they were supposed to be and do her part of that situation. But maybe she does, maybe she does retire it for a little bit. I don't know if that's I don't know if that's the answer, but I don't want to say punish her for it, but maybe that is. I mean, maybe she may be too afraid. Maybe she's fearful of that move now and doesn't want to. So I don't think you should ban it or anything like that, but perhaps she just decides that she doesn't want to do that move anymore. But it is unfortunate. Hopefully we'll get a better time frame of how long. I assume she will not be cleared for them to do a rematch at Revolution. I'm assuming if they're getting a rematch, it'll probably be either at Dynasty or on the way to it. Most likely is probably where that I would think. I assume she's not going to be she's probably not going to be cleared that fast. And then also we got since MJF told us we were dumb and explained to us what was going to happen on Wednesday. We did. Oh yeah, you know what, Laron? I saw CMLL tweet something about them coming to CMLL, and then it moved. And so when I went back to find it, the tweet had been deleted. But I think it's probably because they figured out by then that that she was injured, and so they just went ahead and pulled the tweet. But I think I didn't see the date because the tweet was gone before I could find it. But yes, they were supposed to, I think. But yes, so back to MJF and Hangman Page. So we got this segment where we're going to find out what MJF's what the stipulation was going to be, even though Kevin Knight accidentally spoiled it in his promo before it because Kevin Knight was talking his shit and he said, well, whether it's a Texas death or a one-way no DQ, it doesn't matter. By that point, nobody knew what MJF's stipulation was going to be. So people were saying it. So he went on Twitter and he's like, well, I heard that dweeb talking about it on his phone all day. And so that's how he covered for spoiling what MJF's stipulation was going to be. But I thought the segment with Hangman and MJF was really well done. Of course, so if you did not see it, he said that he was gonna he was not doing a Texas death. That was not happening, especially after Hangman laid out what are you gonna do when I hit you with barbed wire and hold it between your mouth and rip your skin. What is MJF gonna do when I do all these violent things? And MJF was you could see the panic on his face just even considering it happening to him. So yes, his stipulation was a one-way no DQ. So he was basically setting it up as an easy win for himself. He said, let's flip a coin for it. We all knew what was happening when he pulled that coin and didn't hand it to, and when Tony Schiavone did not offer the coin and it was MJF, we all knew what it was going to be. And Hangman was expecting it. So he had people ready. He had, I think it was Jet Speed, Brody, and Bandito all sent MJF back to the ring. And Tony Khan was not having it, told Tony Schiavone, the match is automatically Texas Deathmatch. That's what we're doing. MJF is not weaseling his way out of it. And I do appreciate MJF referencing Cody in that promo. He was like, well, the last guy who made this where he would never challenge for the title again, I sent him packing. He's gone now. So I appreciated him making a reference to Cody there, because we all knew it. Everybody's been talking about it. Everybody's been referring to it as the Cody stipulation, or pulling a Cody, going full Cody. So yeah, we are getting a Texas Deathmatch at Revolution in just 14 days from today. So I'll ask you both, what are your thoughts on the segment, the stipulation, and what do you think happens? Either one of you can.
I don't want to go first, but I guess I will. I mean, again, I think I said last week, and I'm serious about this. I do not want to live in a world where Hangman Page cannot be challenging for the world title. Also, and as Sam has pointed out many, many times, he'd never lost a Texas Deathmatch, so hopefully that's an indicator of this being, although this could be the one that breaks the back, and that's a good story too. I don't know where they're going with this. I do appreciate that MJF is wrestling other people, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure what they're at here.
Yeah. Keila, what are your thoughts?
Well, we took the long way home to get to where we needed to be. We took a journey, took a few pit stops, a coin flip that was rigged, but we got to where we needed to be. Now, the issue is the Cody stip, as we lovingly call it. Mm-hmm. Because if you lose, you're basically saying, I'm going to be a 30-time national champion and a 25-time TNT champion and a 12-time international champion and all the championships in AEW besides the one that you truly want.
Right.
Are they going to really do that? I don't think they are. I think that somehow, some way, Hangman is going to win. How? We simply do not know. We know this match is going to be brutal, violent, gnarly, disturbing.
MJF does not do these type of matches.
Yeah, he really doesn't. This is not his thing.
Outside of was it the dog collar match that was really gory?
Cody and Brody.
Yeah, and then Punk too. That's about
the Punk and MJF. Oh yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, Punk and MJF did have the dog collar match. I take that back. Yeah. So yes, this would be, I guess, the only other one.
It's one way, no DQ, right? Not Texas.
No, it's the Texas Death.
That's going to be the Texas Death.
It is Texas Death because Tony Khan had enough of his shit and was.
That's right. Okay, so that's Texas right. Death. That's right. That's it. It's a Texas he was like,
Death.
No, you don't get to make the rules, especially this time.
It is still the stipulation that if Hangman loses, he can no longer challenge for the world title.
You're getting bloody, boy.
Thank you. Laurent corrected us. He did lose to Swerve in a Texas Deathmatch at 2023. Thank you for that. Oh, and Michael. Cool. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so there's no story there, so that's actually more reassuring to me then, and that's awesome. I mean, I hope he gets it back. It would be a heck of a way for him to get it back. I mean, why not? I love the idea of Hangman being champion. I think that, I don't know what the deal was with the last one, but yeah.
Yeah, Laurent, I believe that is still in play. That if Hangman loses, I think the only part he was like, we're doing it's a Texas Deathmatch, not the one way.
I think that was the whole thing, is that you're not the only one who gets the stipulation. Basically, is that if I'm gonna put if I'm never gonna challenge for it again, we're gonna do it in a match that I want to do it in, and not one of your cheesy little.
Yeah, and so there's been a lot of theories. Like, we had some people in the chat last week who had last week who had a lot of really good theories of like, how does Hangman, if he loses, how does he get around it? There was possibly he wins the ON, then because the ON winner gets an automatic title shot. Maybe he wins a gauntlet match or a casino battle royale, gets the title shot, or perhaps even the current champion puts his title on the line against Hangman. That's a way to get around it. So there are some ways. Some people think it's going to be, I've heard the theory too. I had Patches, one of my colleagues and friends, he had a really good laid out theory about how you have Swerve cost Hangman the match. This turns Hangman down his heel path. Swerve eventually wins the title. You have Hangman and Swerve at it again for the title, but my only issue, and it was really like it was really well, much more laid out than the way I just said it. I should have screenshot it, but it was really nice. But then I told him, I was like, I could definitely see that be the way that they're going. But the only thing is, where does Will Ospreay fit into this? Because I am still convinced that Will Ospreay is winning that title in Wembley at All In front of his family and friends. I think Brawling Birds are winning the tag titles, and he and Alex are both going to win titles in Wembley. So you could do, so I was like, so do you have Swerve do a short title run, then have Hangman beat him and have Hangman have yet another short title run? My friend pointed out, another friend who was in the chat pointed out that they have been doing shorter title reigns. You know, Hangman, obviously his was short. Joe's was very short. MJF could have a short one. Swerve. He's like, so in the way they've been, he's like, it's not ideal long term, but the way they've been doing it with the shorter title reigns would make sense. But I guess that's one of the good things about this is it's not easy to see where they're going. And I think like I love babyface Hangman, but I also love heel Hangman. So I would, but then you also have heel Swerve. So do you have heel Swerve and heel Hangman at the same time? How do you keep them apart from each other? There's that. There's a lot of different ways. I think eventually we get to a point where that stipulation goes away, where Hangman, maybe it takes a year or two, and then something happens and Hangman finally gets a shot at the world title again. But I still don't understand it. And I'm trying to, let it play out.
Keep an open mind.
I just don't know where we're going with this, especially when and then you've got, I mean, like Kevin Knight's getting a title match against MJF on Wednesday, which the match is gonna be fantastic. He's not winning. And then hang on. No, Kenny Omega is not hurt. He was already scheduled to be in Japan for Capcom, and they've known this for months. So they did so as people have joked, Kenny doesn't know how to ask for PTO like a normal person. He gets injured and gets written off TV by some crazy injury. But Kenny currently is not. So Kenny has tried to get out of it so that he can be back in time for Revolution. They still have not been able to. The last I heard, it wasn't happening. I still stand by my theory that Kenny Omega wins the title off of Will Ospreay next year. That is my very bold, very early prediction. Is that Kenny Omega is the one to take the title off of Ospreay, but it won't happen until next year sometime. Yes, I will definitely take that. Kenny is not on the Roman Reigns schedule. He actually has something that was planned months and months ago that he agreed to and can't get out of. He has a contractual obligation to be at this thing. Michael says that I can see Ospreay challenging Hangman if he becomes champion because he wants to get his win back from Double or Nothing 2025 to prove he deserves to be the champ. Yeah, see, I think there's ways that they can make that happen if they do decide to do short title reigns, or say Hangman wins and they don't put Swerve in it at all. And it is just Hangman beats MJF, and then Hangman, does he hold the title until Will takes it? And that would be a way to make that happen. So yeah, I really just don't know. There's so many possibilities for what they could do here, which I guess is a good thing, that sometimes it's good that we can't, get everything figured out. With the Revolution cards coming together, obviously we've got it. It's March the 15th, so we will be here that Saturday with your pre-show, and we'll go over the entire card and give all of our predictions.
It's back Sundays.
Since the wait, is it a Sunday?
It's back on Sundays.
Oh, that's right. It is back on Sundays because football season is over.
Correct.
That's right.
So we don't have to mess around. We will be here on
Sundays.
We
will be here for your pre-show. It'll just
back to our normal time, or maybe a little earlier, but just usually our normal time because the pay-per-views are usually in the evening. So
yes, that's right. I forgot.
I was like, when I saw that last night, I was like, oh yeah, it's back to Sunday, so we don't have to mess around with our schedule.
Yes, and so we already knew, obviously, Jon Moxley is wrestling to Takeshita. They went at it last night. Broad had to be pulled apart. Marina had to take Mox to the back. While we're talking about Death Riders, we will talk about this quickly. So in the opening match, Wheeler Yuta is wrestling. Well, Death Riders, including Wheeler Yuta, is wrestling against Don Callis' family. One of those members is Trent Beretta, who Yuta used to be in the best friends with, and Trent hated. Wheeler Yuta was trying to kick him out of the group, was always mean to him. So Nikki and I wondered, we're like, was Trent going to be the one to pull the hat off of him? And it was funny. Everybody in Don Callis' family was trying to pull the hat off of Yuta, and everybody from the Death Riders, somebody would get in the ring and stop it from happening. And then they would hit him. Or they were doing all kinds of crazy stuff. There was a crazy thing where 4 of them went in a row to keep Yuta from having his hat ripped off. Yuta gets the pin, makes sure his hat's intact, and then he got too big for his britches. And later on in the night, Tony Storm beat Zeta Still. Marina comes out. They are, brawling a little bit, and Yuta comes out and tries to get involved to try to help Marina, and Tony immediately pulls his hat off, exposes his bald head. He freaks out, panics, falls out of the ring and runs away through the crowd. And it makes sense that Tony is the one. But it was just funny. I was like, we went through all that in the opening match for him to Tony pull it right off his head. But I was like, but it makes sense because Tony is the one who Mina is the one who cut his hair at first, but Tony cut it as well. But I thought it was really funny that they did that. But yeah, so we know we've got that match. We obviously talked about it last week with the FTR Young Bucks situation, and FTR attacking the Young Bucks' younger brother. And we got the really cool Mile High Madness match, which was awesome. Got 5 stars.
What?
Dave handed out 5 stars to that match. And
it is the Young Bucks, so,
was not in the Tokyo Dome, but
of course,
in Denver, Colorado. And then apparently some people said it was the most fun match they've ever been in. And it was so funny because at the same time in the match, Nikki and I said, thank God we're not covering this. Because I love watching those matches, hate when I'm the one covering them. And then Tony immediately pops up the 8-man for last night. And I was like, oh God, I can never escape. But that match was really fun. And then last night we got, and then obviously I'll take that. No, never mind. Tekla and Thunder Rosa is happening this Wednesday for the title. And Tekla told Thunder Rosa she should retire. And I was like, oh boy. I was like, those are some words. And I was like, is she saying that to Thunder Rosa? I was like, imagine saying that to some of the other people who were in that locker room who were in the early days of AEW. But then we got a very interesting segment following the main event of Collision last night. So Bandito basically was like, because Brody is getting Brody wants a match at Revolution, Bandito's like, yeah, I want one too. And he challenges Andrade. Last night, Andrade and Ishii had a really great match. Andrade wins. Bandito comes down to the ring and Andrade immediately rips off his pants. Like, what is happening here? Why are you kept your pants on the whole time in the match, rips them off. Bandito says something to him, offers his hand, and Andrade spit in his hand. And so Bandito holds up the finger guns with one hand, points at the Revolution sign with the other hand. Andrade also points at the Revolution sign, does his own finger guns, and then it goes off the air. So I don't know what that. I was like, are we trying? Is this an alpha thing? Like, why are we ripping off our pants? I mean, why are we ripping off our pants as soon as Bandito comes down? What was that?
He was too warm, Sam.
I guess so. He was very hot from wrestling Ishii because Ishii gave him, of course, a G1 match, as Ishii does. Little worried about that. He keeps holding that leg, or that hip, around that hip. I mean, maybe he was just selling it, but I hope he really is okay. But yeah, so we have that match now happening. So the card is, I feel like I'm forgetting another match that was made, but maybe that's it so far. I feel like there was something else, but I don't remember what it was. But very good point. Brad says Bandito versus Andrade makes us all rip our clothes off. I can't hate on that. Fair enough. Yeah, Crash said worst part of trying to rip off his pants is when he gets his boot stuck. Insta fail every time. Well, because obviously the whole thing with Los Ingobernables, but Ishii threw Andrade into the ropes one time, and of course he does the Tranquilo pose, and he's like, God, I thought I was done wrestling Naito. And then I was like, well, at least Naito rips his clothes off before the match starts. He does it at the beginning. Andrade sometimes disrobes during the match. He'll rip his pants off, and then last night it was just he was waiting for Bandito, but he did get there was a lady in the crowd who gave him a protein bar, I guess, and so he ate the bar, and then she took a selfie and kissed him on the cheek, and so I guess getting his protein bar helped him win his match, and maybe that's what. Then he just had to rip his pants off. Yeah, Nikki said the same thing as she's gonna say. I'm sure Bandito makes people want to rip their pants.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, that's fair too. And then Naito does take his sweet time about it, which I love. I love Naito. But yeah, Andrade does the opposite. So what do we think of this card so far?
I'm excited. I'm hyped for it. I think it's going to be a good pay-per-view. I'm really excited. I think they've got a lot of momentum. They've been stacking these Dynamite cards. They've just been killer cards. I mean, I'm very excited for MJF and Kevin Knight. I think that's going to be an excellent match. I was not expecting that. Someone mentioned maybe that's a swerve that you get in the whole thing. I don't think that that's going to happen, but I love that they're putting him in that conversation at all, and that that's a great opportunity for him. And I'm going to say it, like, this is the best way they've handled an MJF run, in my opinion, so far. Him wrestling on the indies, him wrestling people in general, not making like, you have to jump through hoops and do somersaults and 10 jumping jacks and rope climb, and
you don't have to do the 5 labors of love.
Yeah, it's just like, stop it. You can't keep that thing. I mean,
and shout out to MJF for having the self-awareness to admit those 3 months after Adam Cole got hurt, he was the drizzling shits, were his words.
Yeah.
So shout out to him for realizing that those 3 months were awful. Mm-hmm. That god-awful devil storyline. So I appreciate MJF being self-aware enough to admit that was not a great time. Fans were not into it. Now they're coming back. I'm giving them a good title run. So like, shout out to them. And Keila, what do you think of this card?
Card's shaping up to be an excellent pay-per-view for AEW. I love the venue, LA, big arena. It's going to be a very big show. And I have to also give kudos to Maxwell, because I do love this second run as champion for him. First of all, maturity in promos. He's no longer doing the lowest common denominator bullshit. I appreciate that. I like him wrestling more, doing more. And as you said, Sam, the self-awareness to say, you know what? When I first came back in my Triple H jacket, it sucked. It was not good. It was pretty bad. And I can admit that. I came back. I wasn't locked in. I had my foot halfway in Hollywood, the other foot in AEW. I was part-timing. My heart wasn't really in it. He's back. He's focused. You can tell he's invested and that he's growing because he's so gifted. And that was the key thing. He was incredibly gifted as a wrestler and talker early on. And he needed to mature into who he is now, which is a complete performer that doesn't have to rely on the low-hanging fruit to get over.
Yeah.
Andy's, I think, dialed into being an AEW wrestler because he's done with the shenanigans about, I mean, he mentioned Cody, which was awesome, but at the same time, he is done with making references to even leaving or being one foot in the door.
Thank God that Bidding War 2024 seems to be well behind us.
No, that was awesome. I thought he was hilarious when he called himself the Hebrew Hurt Machine or something last night.
No, he calls himself Big Hebrew and now has a t-shirt.
That was it, Big Hebrew. I was dying.
He trademarked it and it's already on his shirt.
It's just, oh my gosh. Especially because I have that. Half my family is Jewish. I have a lot of it. So when he makes the jokes, it's hilarious. We literally had shirts at the J that were they say challah, but it's the challah bread. So it just shirt said it. And it was, so anytime when he does that kind of stuff, I particularly have a cultural, I get that little extra chuckle because I'm he basically was he called himself a schmuck. And I was yes, you were a big schmuck. Oh my God. He admitted it. And I loved that. I was I was yay. This is great. I love this. This is the level I want to see him at. And it proves our point the entire time, Sam, that we said that he could do better on promos.
Yeah.
Because
he really has. Yeah. Nikki said she hopes he uses the Hebrew Hurt Machine.
You're welcome.
Just welcome.
I can't help it.
Sometimes if you listen, we throw out free ideas. We already have our how you retire / handle your death after wrestling.
Did you send that picture to Keela?
I did send that picture to Keela.
She did. We now offer this as one of our services.
Yes, we do. That is our lowest cost package to enter level with your retirement plans after life.
We've got budget plans we work with. We know in wrestling that not everybody makes the big bucks. Sometimes you have to be on your budget plan, and so we have budget options now too.
Installment plans as well, just in case.
Yep. Yes.
Theoretically, we can negotiate pricing even because of my situation.
Yeah, see, there we go.
We are your end of life wrestler cremation situation. One stop shop.
End of life cremation services for wrestling retirement homes everywhere. We service every promotion, big and small. If you have a retirement, we can book it.
Hey,
you're gonna have to hit the conference at the Cauliflower Alley Club next year.
Yes. Hand out pamphlets. Hi, are you thinking about retirement? Well, here at Afterlife Cremation Career Services, we're here to provide and assist. How do you want to leave your career?
Can you imagine having a booth at the
a vendor booth? Yeah, it would be.
Well, then we could go to WrestleCade, have a table there.
Do you imagine shenanigans we would see?
If we bring back Starcast.
Being a vendor at a convention can be a lot. If you don't take yourself too seriously and you pay attention to other people, being a vendor at a convention can be a lot of fun. A lot. Because I have done it before because I've had to sell a product and be a vendor. And
listen, we can make it fun. We can have
a blast.
We can have PowerPoint presentations. We can have videos. We can use pictures.
This is in my wheelhouse, you guys. I can.
We can do it.
We could do this. This is
serious. We could make the convention scene fun. We could make your post life, post wrestling post.
Well, it's scary stuff to think about,
Listen, AJ Styles, we know that you're getting ready to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and you're probably not AEW bound. So if you you want to help, you can direct your ashes at Will Ospreay if you would like.
Exactly. And you can plant a tree on this very flat earth in which we live on.
It's like we can spread them out flat for you.
Yes.
Right to
flat
the edge.
Surface
right to the edge
earth.
of the we can flatten, you can spread you out right to the edge of the earth.
Yes, right at the equator, even though you don't believe in it. But still, it's about providing services you would appreciate at the end of your career.
That's right. We are not judgmental about what you want.
We'll make sure we'll try to get it away from the gay community if we can. I can't make any promises.
Oh my God. Now listen, if y'all watch Up, Down, Down, his username is quite unique.
Is it?
God.
It is.
What is it?
It's King of Booty. So I was like, go ahead.
Oh God. Oh God. Of course. You know what?
AJ.
Of course it is. You know booties are round.
That's the only thing that's round, AJ thinks.
Yes, they jiggly, you know. They bounce.
Listen, if you want us to play Baby Got Back for you.
Yeah, I was like, of all the names, like, okay, so you are Brown to wear. Congratulations. Growth.
Brand aware. Nikki said it makes her think of Linda Belcher because she's pretty sure that she tells Bob she wants him to throw her ashes at Tom Selleck. We may not be able to have your ashes thrown at Tom Selleck. However,
I don't think we can arrange that, but you never know. I mean, it's a wild world. Like we might know somebody.
It's a wild, flat world. You never
say
know.
never. We'll scour the whole flat earth.
Did these people not believe in telescopes? I guess not.
They don't.
Well, it's the thing that gets me about AJ is he flies on airplanes.
Yes.
On the flat earth. Across the flat earth, not around it. Across.
I know. Airplanes apparently go straight up in the air and drive in no, I can't even. It's weird.
I don't know. It hurts my head.
Telescopes. No, he probably. You know what? I don't know if anyone's ever asked him about telescopes. I've actually sat in on a legitimate meeting where someone explained magnets in a business situation. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is ironic around Juggalo areas because magnets, how do they work? It happened. I am not kidding you.
No, I believe you. Sadly, it sounds like something that's a very real conversation that has happened.
When we got, so I'll tell you this real quick. So you get as part of a big kit thing that Bob got at the beginning of the insurance situation, we got car magnets that have our stuff on them.
Right.
Well, and but you have to sit through this meeting so they can explain how to use the thing and whatever, because it's a marketing site and that's fine. And I think I've told you offline what I call the site, so I'm not going to out them. But so it's hilarious because so literally this guy starts to go into this whole thing about the door magnets, and he's like, "But you have to make sure that your car is metal." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" And he proceeded to give a 12-minute lecture on how magnets work. And all I could think to myself as someone who's worked in phone sales background, I want to get the recording of the agent who called into the call center and could not figure out why their plastic car would not allow their magnet to work on. Like, I want to listen. You know how they're like, this call will be recorded for training purposes? I would kill to get that call and listen to it and how that person handled that. Somebody out there who sells insurance could not figure out that their car was not made of metal in the 21st century.
Oh my God.
There you go. So
bless that person.
Happy birthday.
Phone call. Yes, happy birthday.
I just want to so bad. I want to hear how the person handled it. Because to me, if someone called me up and was like, I don't know how to work magnets, my first response would be like, are you ribbing me? Like, are you serious?
Am I on a prank show? Is this?
Am I doing training? Is this one of those times where it's a training thing?
Am I being punked? Did we bring that show back for regular people?
And it's and it's working in contracts. One thing is if it's written down, somebody tried it.
Right. Yes,
which means if he had to give a 12-minute lecture on it in a 35-minute presentation,
oh my God,
somebody or somebody's
oh, it was
had
probably
problems.
more than one. I feel like there's probably more than one.
Oh,
person.
I think there definitely was more than one, because you wouldn't spend that much time on it if it had happened only the one time, because that's an outlier.
Yes, definitely.
So that's
yes,
the barrier to entry on that. So make sure you know who is selling you your insurance as well.
Yeah, for real. Michael, yes, AJ is a flat earther. There are videos. There's videos of him talking about it. I mean, he did try to walk it back a little bit and was like, "I'm just saying they could be right," but like, there's videos of him talking about it. And I believe there's tweets too of him talking about being a flat earther.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of the clips because I didn't believe it and had to go. I was like, "Come on."
I don't know about the last part of your question. Maybe that's how he thinks his 4 children arrived on this planet. I don't know, but yes, he is. He is legitimately or at least he was at one point. Yes, there's also this. Moose does not believe in dinosaurs.
Oh,
yeah,
that's too bad. Dinosaurs were in the Bible.
Considering, I mean, there's lots of things to say about Moose.
But unicorns were in the Bible too, so I don't know. Whatever.
But yeah, Moose does not believe in dinosaurs, but Nikki says she believes that AJ believes in dinosaurs. But then,
I don't believe in Moose.
USBA guy says, Mel, you're correct. Whenever we have our New Japan booth at WrestleCon, we see everyone acting like knuckleheads around the con, and then they get to their booth and they act all prim and proper.
It's so much fun. So I work for a soccer company, and I was selling for a soccer company. And one thing I convinced the company to make were those little squishy balls, the stress balls, with our logo on them that were soccer balls. And they didn't believe me, and they didn't believe us that this was going to be a big thing. And we were like, no, people, not only do people love free stuff, they especially will love these. Well, these were so over, is by the second day of the conference, all the people that were at the conference were tossing them all around the expo center. People were just throwing them, and they were like landing on people's booths, and people were tossing them back. It was hilarious. So it was like everybody we were out. We had boxes and boxes of them. People were coming. Are you guys the guys with the squishy soccer balls? We're like, we are fresh out. Nobody in the company believed me. I was like, they're gone, guys. So they ordered some for the Northern California office. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, everybody likes free shit, and especially these squishy balls.
Yes. They like free shit, but they like it when it's useful. Even better, even more when it's useful free shit.
Oh, dude, it was so much fun. But he's not wrong about the knuckleheaded. People are crazy in the wild in those situations. It's very interesting to me. And I'm a watch. I mean, I'm kind of an observer of people patterns because of how things went in my circumstance. So it's like I notice what is going on, the patterns and what people are doing. I'm just
sure. Yeah.
You guys are hilarious.
Yes.
Also, people think they're really original. So.
Everybody thinks they are.
Believe me,
I sit around wrestling.
I am one of a kind. None of you are.
When they compare, of course, because then they compare an independent wrestler to somebody they saw on TV. And they yell out things like that all the time. No child left behind, which makes me laugh because I think it was Ashton Starr who called another wrestler a child left behind in a promo. Or maybe it was on Twitter, but yeah, they said that they were or no, maybe it was Billy Dixon. Nikki can help me remember which one of them said. But they called him a child left behind, and I was like, that is a very specific yet very funny insult. Crash says, wait till the biotechs bring back the woolly mammoth. Smooth. Thank you, Jordan. We're trying to be festive for our birthday. I do want to go back up to this question from Michael because I saw it and we went down another path. But Michael said, are there any women's matches with stories set up for Revolution, with it being 2 weeks away? I think there would have been at least one had Mega Bad won it, assuming that's where it appears that they were going. Mega Bad would have won on Wednesday, and I'm sure they would have been defending it. Maybe a rematch against Babes of Wrath, maybe something else. Maybe they're moving on to another team. I think that's where they would have gone. I think they're doing Tekla and Thunder Rosa, which I don't love. Thunder Rosa getting a title shot in the third match back after being gone for 8 months and not being at the title match title picture when she was around. I do, obviously, she is a former champion and all that, and so I get that part of it. I'm glad that match is not happening on a pay-per-view because it is not a pay-per-view match at this point. And so I don't know I assume it's going to be a rematch with Stat because Stat has now been cleared. And because of maybe they do, the dumb baby face does a stipulation where everybody's banned from ringside and Tekla has to beat her clean. That's my guess. And then of course, now that Willow is still a tag team champion, she probably will not be doing double duty and defending. I assume that she's going to do one or the other. She'll either defend the TBS championship, but nobody seems to be coming for the TBS championship. So I assume her and Harley will probably defend their tag titles at Revolution, and then nobody's coming for the TBS title at this moment, unless they all of a sudden just go with whatever plan. Had that been the plan that Babes of Wrath are going to lose their titles last Wednesday, that leaves somebody coming for Willow and her TBS title. I guess if they already had a match plan for that, maybe they could, but they're not doing a very good job of building it up, which once again is why Willow does not need to have 2 titles. As much as I love her, she does not need to have 2 of the 3 titles that exist on the main roster. But I hope they. So I assume Stat will probably challenge Tekla after Tekla beats Thunder Rosa on Wednesday, and then they'll either set up a tag match. Hopefully, there's not just one women's match, but it's happened before, so I don't love it, but here we are once again. Thank you. We appreciate that. Oh, thank you. That's right. Billy Dixon did. It was Billy Dixon who said it about Darius Carter. Thank you, Jeremy, and a very belated congratulations. We were behind on wishing you 200 episodes. Hopefully, Keela will make her count backwards. Find out if the wrap is at 200, and then we'll just have we'll have a episode for the 200 club and have everybody with 200 episodes on our show and on a show, and we'll brag about how we're at 200 episodes and they're not.
You're not.
I do. Marina and Tony, I'm glad they're finally going one. Well, they haven't made the match yet. Marina cut a promo last night after Collision, wants to go one-on-one with her. No, she said no partners and no lovers allowed. And so I don't know that they'll do it on the pay-per-view. I mean, they could, but they better not when there are no title, when we have titles that need to be defended. Like, if you want to have 4 women's matches and defend all 3 titles, make Willow do double duty and have a 4th women's match, then sure. But don't do this match in the place of what could be a title match. But I like the feud that they're doing with Marina and Tony. And I feel like even though that match with Zeta still was really short, it was 3.5 minutes, she let Zeta get some stuff in last night. And for a former champion and probably other than Mercedes, your biggest women's wrestler, to let Zeta get in some stuff, I thought was really cool of Tony to do. Yeah, me too. I hope that they book some more matches at Revolution to find some contenders for these women's titles. Me too. Oh man, God, that would be Tekla versus Persephone. Sign me up. I'll take that match. Laurent said he thought Megan was going to challenge Willow for the TBS title, but no woman needs to have 2 titles in AEW. Not even with the lack of TV time. The titles aren't established enough for a woman for them to do that right now. Yeah, Michael, you're right. Considering where we went into Revolution last year with the Hollywood ending, and this year we got whatever this is a huge drop off. You are very correct about that. Fernando is predicting that Chris turns on Thunder Rosa. I can see. I don't want to do a heel Chris turn right now. I think they didn't give her enough time before. She's still trying to figure out who she is. I don't know. And we've got Hill Tekla, you've got Hill Megan Bain, you got all, Sisters of Sin, Lena Cross, Penelope are all Hills. And we just made her a babyface again. I don't know that I don't know that that's the right thing to do here. Fernanda said that Tony should pivot to Sisters of Sin winning the tag team championships. Whatever, I would not be mad at that. They have got to get those titles off of Babes and Brats or they got to take the TBS title off of Willow. It's got to be one or the other. I'll take yes, please. Brad says he needs him to do Marina versus Lance on a pay-per-view since it probably wouldn't fly on TV. This reminds me. So I screenshot this tweet the other day. Marina posted a picture of her flipping off. Is that Mark Davis? She's flipping off somebody. The other picture is her and Lance Archer. Some dude responded and told her that she should knock it off because it's not believable, even in kayfabe, that Marina could beat up Lance Archer or any man for that matter, basically. And her response was, "Okay, big dog." So Nikki and I, that has been our new phrase this week. Everything is okay, big dog.
That's kind of funny.
I can't imagine telling Marina, who is legitimately trained in martial arts, that she can't believably take out a man.
I mean, people have their weird conceptions, whatever.
I was just like, all right. Oh, good. Lauren says Zeta looked pretty good against Red Velvet. I've got to get now I'm 10 episodes behind. I'm gonna get there. I do. Nikki was like, God, I wish we could just jump ahead because now they seem to be building something with TMDK and Shane Taylor Promotions. And I was like, I'm ready to. I might have to watch backwards, watch the most recent episodes and then work backwards in between. Yeah, I heard Persephone had a match this week. If this will come up here. Yeah, I'm so behind. And I did not know until we had talked about this last week about Deanna, how she's not been defending her title. And then then Tony suddenly had her defend her title against Trisha Dora. Who Trisha Dora should have gold so that all of Shane Taylor Promotions can have gold. I've been saying this since, and I don't know if Collins is still here. Collins and Nikki have also said this with me, that all of Shane Taylor Promotion needs gold. Fernando thinks that Mercedes is returning at Revolution. She's got several matches in Europe in March, and I don't know if it frees her up to be at Revolution. I don't remember the timing of some of those matches. But perhaps. Brad says he's very interested to see what ROH tapings look like today. Me too. They're doing like 4 or 5 hours of taping today at a studio in Jacksonville. The tickets were free. They were first come, you had to claim them, but they were first come, first serve. I know Athena is already there. I saw Anthony Henry was talking about being in Jacksonville last night. So, and I haven't seen it, but I know that James Drake had a match against Adam Priest on this week's ROH. So it sounds like both of Workhorsemen are cleared and back together. So I'm very excited about that. Laurence pointed out that Tekla did say Triangle of Madness would be expanding. Ooh, that is right.
Madness is pretty funny, Crash. I'm not gonna lie.
Brad says, "Okay, big dog" is a perfect reply to his message. Yes.
That's pretty funny.
Yes, Maria says, what about Thunder Rosa joining the triangle and making it a foursome? Definitely have to change it. That was my thought too. Laurent, is that Mercedes should return at Dynasty. I have talked about this. I currently do not want the Inspiration anywhere around the tag team titles. If what I'm hearing about them in TNA is true, that they have regressed, I don't want them anywhere near the titles if that is correct. Maybe they need and we talked about it before when they signed them, perhaps being in a division with people like Willow, Megan Bayne, some of these really solid wrestlers who are stronger, maybe that will force them to up their game. And maybe it was the competition that he had, that they had. Maybe it was the competition they had in TNA that affected them. But until they can prove that they can hang, I don't want them anywhere near those titles. That's just my personal opinion. And then they're wrestling on Wednesday. They'll be on Dynamite. Brad says JD Drake versus Priest was really good. The whole match was built around Priest going for a successful sunset flip. Hopefully not a sunset flip. And also, shout out to Adam Priest. I saw that it's his birthday today because AEW tweeted about it, and he said, "Thanks. This picture makes me." No, he said, "This picture makes me look fat, but thanks." Like Adam. Workhorseman would probably like it because JD Drake is a big fan of FTR. And at least I'd get to see the Workhorseman, I guess. It's not a match that I'm clamoring for, but I'm sure it's a match they're clamoring for. Yeah, that's what I was saying. That Laurent said, to be fair, the tag teams in the TNA were not very good. The Inspiration had to work against. Right. So perhaps that was, part of the reason they have reportedly regressed. And so maybe that is, and maybe being in a new environment with new people, maybe they'll, and I said it a few weeks ago, maybe they'll prove me wrong. Maybe they'll be ready to go, and maybe I'll be like, you know what, let's put them on the tag titles. So yeah, I mean, that's fair too. So we'll see how the Inspiration does in AEW, and then maybe I'll change my mind about that because it's been known to happen. I believe, unless there's anything else, that we have covered the news portion of this episode. Mm-hmm. And it is now time, because it is a birthday party. I believe it is time for party games. Unless anybody else has anything they want to add before we move into the party games. Keela, you good? You got anything you need to throw in there? I am good. Okay. Well, then we have a couple of things. Shout out to Mel, who loves birthday. I mean, I love parties too, but Mel has been working on these party games. And shout out also to Garrett for making our slate this week very, very festive. He added party hats for us, which I loved. It was a nice surprise when he sent it to me yesterday. So shout out to him for that. And I'll let you tell me.
Are we going to invite our guests in?
We can. I was going to say we can invite do you want to invite the guests? These are your games. So,
well, we can invite the guests in first, and then I will, we'll do the easier game first, and then we'll do the second game last.
Okay. So do you want to bring our guests in?
So we reached out to some folks who have been asking forever to, let's face it. We have some folks that would host in our stead if something tragically happened to Sam and I and our wizard time was entirely off. So one of those people who has been a supporter since the very beginning is our friend Dowza, and we would like to welcome Dowza to the show right now. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Hello. How are you?
We are excellent. I am happy to see you in the human. Thank you for being in the chat all the time.
Yeah, I was going to say thank you for. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, that's great. I feel like an honorary broad finally. I've been waiting for this for so long.
Daza always is in the chat asking when we say there's a special guest, he says, "Is it me?" And we were like, one of these days we have to. It's gotta be Daza. It's gotta be him. And so I talked to Mel and I was like, "What if for the birthday episode we talk to a couple people and see if they're available?" And Daza was definitely was ready to be part of our birthday party. So thank you, Daza, for being here. And again, thank you for your support of us. We truly appreciate it. And we enjoy talking with you and having your thoughts and things like that. And so we appreciate you being part of the Fight Game community and specifically the Power Bombshells. What were we calling it? The PBS? What did we call it a few weeks
Posse
ago?
or something?
Yeah,
Was
it PBS Posse? Was that it?
I can't remember. You guys come up with the names.
But we're glad to have you here, and thank you for joining us. And Mel, I'll let you take it away.
All right, so I am going to do our first game here. And this is going to be the easiest game. And you guys are all going to have to bear with me now because this will be my first time. So no judgment. All right, so let's make sure that wait a minute. It shouldn't be removed. It should be allowed to enter. Here, let's put it up here. Wait, hang on. This is going to be the one that I start with. Let's see if it'll work. Okay, I'm going to try and start with Power Bombshells trivia. It is this one. There we go. This right here. Now, hang on. I'm going to play it for you real quick.
Thing that we never expected.
Here is Power Bombshells trivia. So it's trivia time, and my little thingy didn't work perfectly.
The thing that we never factored in
there
for. The thing
go.
that we never expected.
There we go. See, now it works. So I did a little quiz here, and the people in the chat can help. And this one, Sam actually kind of answered this earlier in the show.
You were listening
way
closely.
inadvertently. And so we'll
shout
have
out
to
to your
see,
great
but,
graphics, Mel.
shout out. Thank you. Hey, I love,
You worked very hard. No, it looks awesome. I love it.
I've been playing with my
appreciate all the
Canva.
effort.
It's a lot of fun. I even got Kenny Omega to announce it. If you get it from the
Kenny
beginning,
Omega.
like all
Thanks
of the
for
stuff
that.
sort of comes in together.
Our
It's very
pal
cool.
Kenny Omega.
Yeah, see, look, it goes, wee! Oh, like that. All right. So the question is, which are Sam and Mel's favorite wrestling moves out of all of these? And I don't know if you guys want to answer. You guys want to let the chat answer? Daza probably knows.
I have
Remember?
a feeling that Sam's favorite one is the Canadian Destroyer. Is that right?
You
That
are
is
correct.
Right. Okay.
Nice. And now let's see. I don't know if Keelan wants to answer, if Keelan remembers, or if we want to get an answer from the
But what is
the drums.
What's that? Yes, we have the drums. Thank you, Fernando. What is Mel's, since we know my favorite wrestling move, what is Mel's favorite wrestling move?
Anyone?
I know what it is, but I'm gonna
Sam's not allowed to answer. Not on this one.
I don't know this, but I'm going to guess the drop kick.
Ooh, it is not the drop kick, although it is one that we talk about a lot. That's why I put that in there.
To Daza, we do love Okada's drop kick the most.
That is true. That's kind of why I put that one.
His drop kick is our favorite of all the drop kicks, even though Kevin Knight has a really, really good drop kick. And I also love him doing coast to coast. But to us, Okada is the one. Keela, do you have a guess?
Well, let's do process of elimination.
Here we go.
I think that Mel likes a splashy move, nothing generic like a suplex. So let's go with the Paradise Lock.
And Nikki, that's also Nikki's guess is Paradise Lock. Mel's guess is Paradise Lock. Jordan says Paradise Lock is hilarious.
I put Paradise Lock in there because I thought you guys would try that. And I'm so glad it worked. I was was like, what's one that's just off the wall that I can throw in there? So,
And
unfortunately, you guys.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, or fortunately for me, I am a suplex girl. I am a big fan of the suplex. So no one got mine. Okay, because everyone got Sam's.
I don't know how you guessed it. It's not like I ever talked about it. It's not like Brad. It's not like Brad tags me in very cool.
It's true. It's true. The interwebs give it away a little bit.
So Crush says no Poison Rana. Poison Ranas are pretty sweet though.
Hey, man, there were only so many things that would fit on the graphic. Okay.
Brad said no eye poke. I can tell you it's certainly not a finger poke of doom.
It was why the Paradise Lock was most definitely in that vein of like, what can I come up with? And then all of a sudden I was like, what am I doing? It's the most obvious, hilarious answer. So that was the drop kick was the swerve. The Paradise Lock was the joke. And, you know, and if you're new here, yes, in fact, Sam is a huge Canadian Destroyer fan. I'm a huge suplex fan. Probably one of my favorites is Kenny Omega's because who does that Snapdragon suplex better than that man?
He's so good at it. Crash says, Mel, that's pretty broad. What's your favorite suplex? German, Northern Lights, belly to back. I mean,
German. I love me a solid classic German done perfectly. I was going to get a picture of Minoru Suzuki, but couldn't find a good one. So I went with Jeff Cobb instead. So.
Oh, back when Jeff Cobb got to do stuff.
Yeah. Well, I just.
Well, while we're on the subject, Daza, what's your favorite wrestling move?
Yeah, right.
I think I like what's now called the super kick, but it used to be called like a savant kick. I just like a really good kick, basically. So yeah, I think that's off the top of my head, probably that one. Can I just say to Mel as well, if you like a good suplex, can I just throw my Stardom fandom in there? You need to check out a wrestler called Natsupoi. Because she does some really good suplexes. She's really tiny, but she throws better than Brock Lesnar. So yeah, so definitely check her out.
Okay, so that now I have to because you are another reliable source that has pointed that exact thing out to me. So that's okay. I will definitely do that. It's on my list this year to get Joshi in my rotation, and I will make that she's on my list. Yeah. What about you, Keela? Do you have a favorite wrestling move?
First of all, I feel betrayed by you. I feel miffed that you played me and the audience with your choices.
Paradise Lock. I Paradise Locked you.
You did. You got me really, really good. I'm gonna get you back. Trust me when I say. But favorite move, I'm going to lean towards a couple. I love me a good cutter in any variation. Love me a good cutter. And I love a Poison Rana. I love it. Reverse Rana, I dig it.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah, when they right, that's awesome.
Yes, and then
one move I also like is a tope through the ropes.
Oh yeah,
purely because I don't know how they do that.
Yeah, either.
Honestly, and yeah, it just the narrowness between the ropes, and we just to basically do that. To me, it looks like superhuman. So I think it's one of the reasons why I do think sometimes we're living in the Matrix that people can do that move. So it just looks impossible to me.
You're not wrong. Every time I think they're going to get caught, I just never know how they do it. It's so wild because I know that I would be like. I would definitely be clotheslining myself every freaking time. I am so clumsy. It's like, I love that. Yeah, that I agree with that a lot. Yeah, I know it seems weird, but you can do so much with the suplex. And it's one of the first, I mean, when they're teaching like the young lions, it's one of the only moves that they can use, basically. It's like things like Boston Crabs and the Boston Crab has clearly been turned into 8 jillion things that are way cooler than just a standard Boston Crab. So I think that's
Nikki says her Destroyer and the Spanish Fly are her favorites off the top of my head. Yes, I love me a good Spanish Fly. I love a Spanish Fly too. I think
Will Ospreay every time.
There's some really cool ones. Jordan says the dragon suplex is so dangerous.
It is.
Yes. Nikki, me too. I triggered myself by saying finger poke of doom, but Brad started it when he said eye poke, which Brad's favorite move is the brainbuster. Dean Malenko did it perfectly with the snap at the end. Yeah, brainbusters are cool too. Jordan says that Gary Albright, the most beautiful, fiercest suplexes he's ever seen. Crash says that he is stunned. Keela speaking truth to power. Ooh, La Mística is a very good one. And somebody in WWE did a La Mística the other night, and I was like, who was it? Somebody did, and I was like, wait, did they really say a La Mística? It's not in the way. Obviously, it's not as smooth as Místico's, but who did it on SmackDown the other night? It wasn't. I don't think it was. No, it wasn't Hayes. Now it's going to drive me crazy. I'm going to have to go pull up my notes from Friday so I can remember who it was. Crash loves a good fairy. He said a Fosbury flop man here. Nice. Christian has you covered.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, shooting star press. Yeah, that's a good one too. Curryhead said he's a fan of Lady of the Lake. He claims his second favorite move is Shatter Machine. I don't know if I
allegedly.
Oh yeah, Tornillos, very cool. And Beast Mortos has a really cool. I mean, I like a lot of the Tornillos, but my tribal chief has a great Tornillo that he does. Ooh yes, the Sasuke special. For planchas, Hidden Blade is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you are breaking hearts over here.
All right.
Okay.
And that was Power Bombshells trivia. It was very exciting. So we on to our
that's just a one question trivia.
It was one question trivia, Sam. What do you want from me?
I thought
I had a really busy week. It was very frustrating. Canva is not as user-friendly as I want it to be sometimes. That's all I'm going to say about that. So sometimes I have to like troubleshoot things, but
don't let Serpentico know that a Russian leg sweep is your favorite. Serpentico talks all the time about how yes, Nikki just said don't be offensive to Serpentico. Serpentico hates them, and so every time somebody does one, Nikki and I always reference Serpentico because he hates them.
Wonderful. All right, so
the hidden blade will be the next move. All wrestlers still are like the spear and the cutter. I mean, a lot of them. Probably so. Okay, I'm sorry, Mel. Go ahead.
Right. No, it's all right because we are going to move on to our second game, which is called. Excuse me, let me fix this here. Screw T Marshall, where we watch some clips of QT Marshall, and then
oh my God, you're making me watch clips of him.
Are you ready? All right. So what we are going to do during the game Screw T Marshall is I am going to play you a clip of QT Marshall saying something, and then I am going to ask you a question, and you will each have an opportunity to answer it. That's right. It's Screw T Marshall, ladies and gentlemen, from Power Bombshells, brought to you live here. Let me just get this in here real quick because I gotta invite something here. Go. Where is it? Where is it? I got it. I believe it's right here. Yes. Nope, it's this one. It's this one. Here we go. So I'm going to roll this back. Let's start here on this one.
Oh my God.
All right, here we go. All right. Are you ready? I'm going to play this. Here we go.
They don't even want to play it. They know. We don't even want to see QT Marshall or Screw T Marshall. I'm sorry.
All right. So you guys saw it.
No, it did not play.
We did not.
We did not see it. It did not play for us. That's what I'm saying.
I will get it. I will get it for you. Share this tab instead. Here it is. Here it is.
Does
this work?
Videos.
Hang on, wait. Hang on. Let's try this again. I know, you guys, it's my first try, all right?
2023 AEW, right? And the main reason was I just wasn't.
You're already going to trigger me with this.
Are you guys playing it? Can you see it now?
Yeah, it's not a wrestling move. This is him talking to Denise Salcedo.
Talking to Denise to start out. That's the first one.
Yeah, I know.
You guys ready? Can you
I
hear it?
I already know what this is.
All right, but you guys can hear it, right?
Yep.
Okay, let's try that again. Let me make sure. Oh, where was I? I want to keep sharing. Did it not play anymore? I'm so good at this. Oh, wait, let me get back in here. Hang on. Nope, it doesn't want to do it. Okay, don't mind me. So hang on, because I didn't want to do this, but let's go to this tab. I was sharing, and now it won't play it for me. So wait, hang on. Let me try this again. We're going to do this one more time because I want to, and that's why. We are going to do this because I want to hear it, and I spent time on it, and you guys are going to hear it. Let's find this tab that I was on, and let's share it. And nope, that's not the one. Hang on. Forget that one.
It's like Inception over here.
All right, give me a chance here. Right?
That's fine.
All right. You guys talk about something interesting while I'm doing this.
Well, now you already annoyed me because I know exactly what that clip is. So, but Daza, how are you? So while we're waiting, how are you today? And is there anything you've been dying to tell the Power Bombshells community?
Well, I went to a cinema this morning. I went to see Wuthering Heights. So that
nice.
was, it was pretty spicy.
I have heard.
Yeah,
I have heard.
All right, let's see if this share will work. And let's see if Mel can get this. Now, you guys, can you see this?
Yeah.
Now, let's see if you can hear it.
I left AEW, right? And
You
mainly,
hear it?
the main reason was I just wasn't happy.
Yeah. You hear it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Here we go.
I had to figure out what was going to make me happy. For me, it was not having to come to work every week with my gear bag, wondering what could happen. So when I spoke to Tony afterwards, we decided like, hey, I'm just not going to wrestle. And I was like, great, I can come there with a backpack. I don't have to worry. I just worry about the office work.
Follow for more daily.
Oh, I thought this was the other clip from Denise. So,
all right. So, the question is, if y'all heard that, he was talking to Denise Salcedo there. Thanks to Denise for that little clip there. Besides pro wrestling, what would you not want to see QT Marshall do? Sam, you can go first.
What, besides pro wrestling?
Besides pro wrestling. He was talking about how he could go home and he could get out of AEW. So he didn't want to be in AEW. What other things would you not want QT Marshall doing out in the world?
God, that's a good question. I mean, I guess talking about women's wrestling in general. I don't want to hear, because I thought that's what that quote was. I thought that was the clip where he was talking about women's wrestling, and so then that triggered me a little bit. That's where a lot of my annoyance and dislike of QT Marshall comes from. But there's just, I don't like, if I never have to hear from Screw T Marshall ever again, it'd be a great day for me.
Cool. That is the correct answer from Sam.
The correct answer.
Good job. All right. Keila, you're next. What, besides pro wrestling, what would you not want to see QT Marshall do?
Join the UFC.
Oh my God.
No, I don't want that either. I mean, I don't watch it, but
that is the right answer. Keila, I love you so much.
Listen, could you imagine that man in an octagon doing anything technical at all?
No.
Automatic TKO owned by TKO. That's the closest he'll get to a TKO. but the check will clear. So.
Right. And last but not least, Daza, other than pro wrestling, besides pro wrestling, what would you not want to see QT Marshall do?
I would not want to see him do any sort of reviews. So I would not want to see him doing film reviews or book reviews, because frankly, YouTube is full of really narrow-minded, really bland, one-dimensional thinking people anyway. So one more, we don't need that. I do not want to see QT Marshall's thoughts on Wuthering Heights or one battle after another.
I'm there with you, Daz.
I tell you something. I do not want to see QT Marshall doing a play-by-play of the Oscars, because I think that would be pretty. I could imagine him basically sort of like, complaining about every single review that wasn't like I don't know, Gone with the Wind winning an Oscar or something. I don't know.
You're probably right. And then I've got to get to some of the responses from the chat. Brad does not want to see QT Marshall doing a topless car wash. Nobody wants to see him twerking.
No one wants that. That is true.
Michael went a bit further, probably the furthest of everybody with the procreating. Nikki doesn't want him talking about women in general.
Yeah, definitely not.
USVA guy said this is an industry inside joke, and now I have questions about they do not want QT booking their travel.
Oh no.
That sounds very personal for some people.
We'll leave that one alone.
I don't want to get anybody in
traveling
trouble.
agency went south, did it? It went JetBlue, apparently. My apologies.
Youch.
The only QT I want to have anything to do with is Quick Trip, the gas station.
Okay. They have a lovely food selection when you want something on the go.
Extremely clean bathrooms when you are traveling. At least for all the QTs that I have been to, they have clean bathrooms. They do have a really good food selection. They also have they also have a safe zone. So if you need to escape a bad situation, they've got designated places for. So that QT, all about some Quick Trip. This QT, not so much. Grace says he would like to see him get knocked out. I too would like to see that.
Well, there's a round 2, so hang on. Because we are not done with because this is the most important game, because we had Keela on last time, and Sam and Keela did not say a bad word about that man. Somehow.
Yeah, we realized after the show went off air, and I said, Keela, we went an entire episode without talking about QT Marshall. How did that happen?
So I had to make an entire
and so
party
Mel
game.
was like, I'll fix that.
Correct. So we're gonna get to round 2 here. Let me see. Let me make sure.
I don't want that either. All right.
I think this is gonna be the right one. Let's make sure it's being shared. This one doesn't necessarily need sound. All right, are you guys ready?
No.
Yes.
Here we go.
Sam is like, no, don't do it.
There's Commander. Look at the fleet again. Silito. That's it. Cover 2. Champion retains.
That's what I also, you said nothing about pro wrestling. QT Marshall does not need to be getting title matches. I don't care if it's ROH, if it's on the indies where he sometimes wrestles. He does wrestle on the indies up in New York. He was on some show. I can't remember which shitty speaking out wrestler was on that same card with him off the top of my head. But I do appreciate at least Commander hitting, at least I got a Canadian Destroyer, and it was done on QT, not by QT.
So the question is,
sorry.
if you have to watch QT get his ass beat on TV besides Commander, who would be your top 2 wrestlers to destroy him?
Just 2? Like
top,
I can't.
you gotta go with the top 2 right now, Sam, for the game, for the purpose of the game.
This is. So I have to narrow it down to 2.
You gotta give me 2 on TV, getting his ass beat. Top 2 people.
They have to be an AEW wrestler.
No, you can. This girl.
All right. Well, then let's have Obafemi or Royce Keys. Either one of those two men. Or I would take. You know what would be funny though? is it for it to be Cody Rhodes?
There you
Cody
go.
would be very funny because I don't know if they still are, but they were friends in real life at one point. So to have Cody Rhodes destroy him would also be funny.
Excellent. Excellent. So Sam's top two were Cody Rhodes and what?
Or it would be probably Obafemi and probably Royce Keys.
Cool.
Off the top of my, you know what?
Correct. You are
one.
correct.
Sorry. Listen, I'm gonna have a third one just because I can.
Okay. All right. Well, we've got honorable mentions here.
I would take Tomohiro Ishii destroying him. I will even take Minoru Suzuki.
There you go. All right. All right. Let's see. All right. Again, the question is let's go with Daza. If you have to watch QT get his ass beat on TV besides Commander, who would be your top two wrestlers to destroy him on TV?
Okay, so first off, I'm going to say Shayna Baszler.
Ooh.
If he's so sort of against women professional wrestling, I would love to see Shayna Baszler just really go to town on them.
Love it.
And the second one, I'm going to stick to the same theme, but slightly different. I'm going to go with Maki Ito. She does. So you've got the wrestling with Shayna Baszler. Maki Ito, she's done hardcore in the past and like really brutal stuff. So her basically hitting him with various objects, making him bleed, and having a big smile on her face while she's doing it. They're the two I would go with.
Her train fight with Minoru Suzuki was one of the best things that happened that year.
Yeah.
That was one of the greatest things ever. Oh my God.
I love both of those choices.
Remarkable. So All right, Keela, your turn. If you have to watch QT get his ass beat on TV besides Commander, who would your top two wrestlers be to destroy him?
Well, I'm going to keep with the female empowerment theme of having Marina Shafir whoop that ass.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to go way outside the box, and I am going to lean towards Sam, but it will not be Cody Rhodes. It won't be Dustin. It won't be Brandy. It'll be Pharaoh to whoop his ass.
I wouldn't be able to see that.
He will whoop his ass, and when he's done, he will pee on him. And then we can all say we've lived a good life.
Oh my God. That is the funniest answer. You know how it made me think remember those stickers from the 90s, and it was like Calvin, was it Calvin that was always they always had him like peeing on something.
Yes.
I need a sticker like that, but Pharaoh hiking up his leg.
Yes.
But you know who else does that? Juice Robinson. I'm glad he's kind of gotten away from that. But Juice was doing where he would hike up his leg.
Yep.
Like he was gonna pee. We have some good. No, I don't think anything's gonna top those. I don't know. Shayna Baszler is really good, but we do have some. Oh, we do have some great answers in the chat. Brad says Nick Gage or Jun Kasai.
I'm into that.
Curryhead said about to throw her an FTR versus QT, and I will. Are you trying to make me have a terrible day? Don't ruin my birthday party. Nikki said Darby because he's reckless, or when the Death Riders use their plastic bags.
Fair. This is fair.
Put him in the fish. Yeah. Curryhead said FTR versus QT in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Everybody loses. Nikki says Gage would be great. Michael's picks are Abdullah the Butcher.
This is a great pick. I am big on this.
Shibata. I like those. I
love the Abdullah the Butcher idea. I'm always like, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Sicko.
Nikki says Coda can use his fireworks on him. Curry had second one would be Marina Shafir and Minoru Suzuki. Suzuki just beat the hell out of him. Yes. He says Tequila just won. Yes, USVA got. Oh my God, because he said Kong or Minami Toyota.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Manami Toyota does one of the Cyclone Suplex is one of my absolute favorite suplexes in the universe.
Yeah.
The one that she does is, oh my gosh, she was next level.
The trouble is, Toyota, she makes people look good. Anybody who wrestles her, she make look good. So he'd actually come out of that looking better than he is. So,
he needs all the help he can get. So
he really does. So that was my Screw Team Marshall game, and I think that we can all agree that when it comes to QT Marshall, this concludes Mel's party games for Powerbombshells birthday party. So I hope you guys had a good time. I made sure I hope we slagged on QT. I'm not sorry. Absolutely not sorry.
Not sorry. No, I 100%. Love this. This was great.
So there you go.
Okay.
That's what I spent all week doing in my spare time.
Well, you did a great job at Canva. I shout out to Canva. And
really shout out to all of you guys for hanging out with us. Daz and I are going to talk about we're going to talk about the wrestling book someday.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
And that'll be a good time because I know that you'll probably have a ton of insight on that kind of stuff since it's on your side of the world.
And I grew up on it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'd love to talk to you about it. It'd be a ton of fun. And I've been noticing one of the things about Toni Storm that I've really noticed that she really incorporates into her. She's got that OG thing going with North America, but it's also got a hint of that World of Sport thing to it too. She was reminding me last night specifically. I was like very much having that vibe where it was like she could just like sort of slip right into that and be there. She's so great. I love her so much. She's doing such an awesome job right now. So cool. All right. So we've got a few more birthday surprises. Yes,
we do. We do. We are gonna add another big supporter of our show, along with Daza. We have Brad.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Powerbombshells. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Very glad.
I was going to have another surprise with me, but she's currently in the shower.
Oh well, totally understandable. We appreciate it's the thought that counts, and we will believe us, we'll figure out a way to get Kathy on here. Oh, yeah. And so, I guess you pretty much answered the questions in the chat, but if you want to say them again, what was your favorite wrestling move?
My favorite move is the Brainbuster, specifically the vertical drop with the beautiful snap on the end.
Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah, now that Kyle Fletcher is bringing that back, I love him even more.
Yeah, that sheer drop Brainbuster he does is so good every single time.
Is it Ishii that does that like perfectly? Is he the one that like always has that? Or is it?
He does a really good one. A lot of the Japanese just do a suplex and they call it the Brainbuster.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, the sheer drop.
Super good. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We are having a party in the chat.
And now we almost look like the Brady Bunch, so we're working on it.
I think we may have one more guest on the way. We should have we should have waited and had everybody here for the game, but
that's all right. We can still ask people.
It's a live show and we can do it.
Do you have anything that you don't want to see QT Marshall doing, Brad?
Besides the topless car wash.
Besides the top, I'm an unabashed QT fan as a wrestler, not as a person. I've been following him since his Ring of Honor days. So, but I could definitely separate the two with him. And the topless car washes like you see in the 1980s movies are definitely off.
I would not want that. I don't think anyone would. And would you like to see any other people kick his ass on TV besides Commander?
Just Gage and Jun Kasai, where they
that's
just
right.
Get to
You
go,
had the you've got
they,
good ones.
Yeah, where they just get to go hog wild on him.
He's literally talking about a like all Japan just death match, basically, is what you're. I'm in. I'm sold. I like it.
Oh no.
And I just want to say, Daza, hi. It's finally nice to
Hi.
meet you, and we get to finally be co-hosting the show together.
Yes, excellent.
I put them on the top here. Wait, I should move them up. I should move them up top.
Daza and Brad have.
Here we go. Here we go. Wait,
recently
I'll fix it. There. Now they're on the right
told us
side.
that if we are too late, they would be happy to take over the show for us. They would be
There we
power
go.
bombshells
Perfect.
for the day. If Daza and Brad,
This is what the show would look like if
Yeah.
Sam and I didn't wizard appear. Sort of.
If we could make it on a show, what do you think you guys would talk about, and what would you do as hosts?
I have a feeling it would end up being more of a movie show than anything.
Yeah.
You two would end up probably talking about movies or books more than likely.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to confess, I am pretty much almost done with the pro wrestling fan culture these. I mean, I watch your show, I watch Paul and Jeff's show, the Dynamite show, and I watch Mike and JD's show. But to be honest, I'm not really into the for the wrestling. I'm more just because I like all of you guys, and I like basically just sort of joining and So, and I'll be perfectly honest. On all three shows, I kind of like it when you go off on a tangent and start talking about other things. So, like when you start talking about like GoBots or Fast and Furious or James Bond or something like that, and then when you come to the point where you say, "Okay, I guess we should talk about wrestling," I'm always like, "Oh, guys, just
Mel and I have talked about that before. That like maybe one day we should just do an episode where it's like, because I think one of the ones that a topic that we tend to get carried away on is like just 80s nostalgia stuff, like when we talk about movies or toys we played with. And like one day I know we talked about Lisa Frank, and then we talked about how I had read some stuff about how she is apparently a terrible person and things like that. And then we got into this really deep discussion, and I was like, maybe one day we should just like not have a wrestling episode and we'll just talk about everything but wrestling, because I think that it seems like you guys would be into it, or at least Brad and Daza. Maybe I don't know about everybody else, but
I like that you guys participate. It does help. It's really funny to make. We're all nerds at the end of the day, and it's just a wide culture of nerdery, and wrestling is just a slice of that nerdery. And I feel like it's a lot of fun when you intersect things. I have a few good friends who are particularly good at mashing up all different things and making jokes. And I mean, I try, and I think that I pale in comparison, but so many things are so, because of culture and because we are human and we have so much like that we aren't that original. There is so much that's intersectional about it, and it's just a lot of fun. So, I mean, Sam and I
mean, listen, I went on to like a 15-minute conversation about pickles a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, we did. You guys
and somebody left and came back, and we were still talking about pickles.
And we just told them to deal with it.
Yes, you do just have to deal with it.
Where is it? Wait, I have that. Wait, hang on. I have it. It's here somewhere. There it is.
There are certain shows I would love to do. For example, I've always wanted to do like a James Bond show with Jeff Hawkins, going through also to like from bottom to top favorite shows and stuff. One thing I've always wanted to do with Mel is doing something about the Fast and Furious movies.
Oh man,
because that is one of the craziest franchises ever. The fact that the first film starts, but basically the plot of the first film is trying to steal CD players, and then by the later ones,
they're in space.
It's Lamborghinis fighting nuclear submarines on ice.
Yeah,
they just went. It's gone, and like you say, they went into space in a car. Not NASA going into space, but getting a couple of drag racers to go. Oh, we need to take this satellite out. Well, shall we go to? Let's get these drag racers to build a car with rockets and go into space. Has there been any other movie series that was started out grounded in reality for the most part that ended up so insane? I cannot think of one.
I mean, Halloween can't be you can't say Halloween because it wasn't really grounded in much reality, because Jason did end up in space, if we're being totally like rational about it.
That's Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Friday the 13th. I got that. My bad. Why did I do that? I didn't mean Halloween. But yes, he did go to space.
Yeah.
Brave.
What I love about those films as well is you introduce a villain who does really horrible, nasty things, and then in the next film, they get to join the family and team up. It's like, every single Jason Statham, basically sort of like blows up the houses. They think they've killed one of their things, and then in the next film, he's basically sat at dinner at the end of the film with them, having Thanksgiving dinner. It's
he got his own spin-off.
Yeah.
Hobbs and Shaw is one of the crazy. It shouldn't be as amusing as it is. I hate that that is no, I don't even care. That is a total guilty pleasure movie for me. I will sit and watch that. I just specifically for this line about it's your favorite size sprayed on or painted on. Just that one line. It's just but yes. I have actually talked to a couple of people in the past about you could literally break it up and make a podcast. You could make it into a series. You break up all the movies and make them into a series, and it would be perfect because of how HBO series or series that go really long go completely. They jumped the shark. These guys jumped the shark and landed in space, and then, you said, back on ice and with nuclear submarines.
When's the musical coming out?
Oh my God. Don't even say that. They're just making musicals out of everything right now. I could, it's in my head. You say that, and in my head, I can picture that musical. That's how bad that is. That's how much theater I've done in my life.
It was big in the 90s. Every show had their musical episode.
They're doing it right now. Again, The Outsiders is the musical now. There's one about corn. What's happening? As someone who worked in live theater previously in front of house, I'm happy for anything that gets people to continue to going to live theater because the tradition is what's the most important. So if it takes The Lion King or Hamilton or whatever the thing is that is the thing that gets you to go to a night at the theater, actual live proscenium or theater in the round or whatever, I am happy about that. So I don't judge that these things are turning into musicals because it's continuing to get people that would not otherwise go to a theatrical performance, a live theatrical performance, to do that. And there's something so much cooler and realer about whether it's independent wrestling, live theater, the festivals and the live performances that go on at festival. There's something so much cooler about an actual living human performer doing their thing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, no robots. I will hammer that drum forever. But as someone who has friends that are live performers, and it's such a remarkable thing. And I see the work that goes into it. So anything that gets people in a wrestling show, in a theater, to a festival, and as long as you're bringing positive vibes, please come along.
Since we have one more guest who is ready to pop in really quick, and I am going to welcome to the show, back to the show, I should say.
It's Nikki.
Hey.
I sent her the link last night, and just now she was telling me it wasn't wanting to work. It was the camera; it was being blocked, and so I just told her I would turn off the camera. We had actually the exact same idea. She sent it to me as I was sending it to her. I was like, "Well, I'll turn off my camera and mic, and that you can you can just pop into the shot." And Miley came briefly, and then decided she wanted to leave, and then Sadie was crying outside the door. So now both dogs have been kicked out. And so, but now Nikki is here.
Mel, this hat's for you.
That's very nice hat. I like it a lot. It looks really cool on you. I dig it.
Thank you. I was like, I needed to do something. Well, I needed to cover up my hair. I need a haircut. But I wanted to do something for Mel. And I had glasses, like Samantha was sitting up here, but they fell off when I was trying to bring my chair. And it was like, I don't have time to keep messing with these.
It looks good. It looks
amazing. Speaking of Nikki, the painting.
Yes. There's Nikki's artwork back there.
Wait, if you're doing this, because it's Nikki and Daza and Brad who started saying that they would host in our stead, even though Nikki is in the same. So that's what the show would look like in the event that all of us were wizarded out of the
So if one day you turn on Power Bombshells and you see Brad, Daza, and Nikki, then something has happened to Mel and I, and maybe even Keela. None of us are available. Maybe if we have gone to the we could be having a QT Marshall haters meeting. And
I mean, I'm sorry to get rid of that. I don't hate him nearly as much as you, but
the quarterly meeting of the QT Haters Association.
So one day, chat, these might be your free hosts. Or maybe they'll just come take over one day because we're having technical problems and it's taking us forever to get in here. They have gladly said that they would step up and take over for us. So
this is what our invasion angle would look like.
I think our show would be left in good hands. I don't know if you'd get any wrestling information that day. It may not be a wrestling show. It might be movies, might be books, might be art, the weather, might be
It start out the opposite way. 10 minutes of wrestling, and then the rest of it filled with pop culture stuff.
Yeah, I could see that. It would be very entertaining. So, and we might not get our show back.
And Garrett would have a meltdown trying to get it cancelled.
It looked like that. It looked like that meme where the guy, he's sweating, trying to figure out which button to push. Do we leave it on, or do we push the self-destruct button?
Yeah, somebody has to run the comments, though. So somebody has to.
We can just blame Stephanie Shipley.
Right, that damn Stephanie Shipley. Nobody put the comments up on the screen.
Well, I'm watching you do it, so now I know what to do.
Oh yes, she's gonna take my job. So yeah,
we have very similar opinions on a lot of things, especially wrestling. So I mean, it would be like she's already here.
Yeah, Curry had with WrestleMania season. Bless Keela for having it. I mean, I could probably have things to say here and there, but bless Keela, she's got to do some actual coverage of WrestleMania.
This is busy season for you guys,
especially now that Elimination Chamber is over. Right? There's nothing between now and Mania, right? Oh wait, is there a Saturday night's main event?
No, thank God. No.
So there's nothing else between. That was the last big thing till Mania, right?
That was the last big thing, because they used to do this stupid thing called Roadblock. Now that goes to NXT, thank the Lord. So now there is just 7 weeks, 7 long, agonizing weeks as they try to fill space and try to make me care.
What are your thoughts? And I'm sure, I'm sorry to keep taking topics from your show, but what are your thoughts on them not doing stand and deliver WrestleMania weekend, and that they're giving it its own weekend?
I like it because it was a lot on Saturday to wake up early in the morning, to eat breakfast, prep for a show at noon. It was a lot. So I like the fact that they want them to be independent on their own. They can stand and deliver by themselves early April. We don't know where we're watching this show because the Peacock deal ends in about a week or so.
That's
so I don't know where this is streaming, on YouTube, on Netflix. I have no clue. But I like the fact that we're trying to give people, I don't know, a life on WrestleMania Saturday morning.
Or some of us who will be watching the stuff going on around WrestleMania with all the indie shows that'll be happening. Because I think usually FA's Big Gay Brunch is usually Saturday mornings. And this year, I think he has said this might be his last one in the U.S. for a while. And Nyla Rose is making her debut for Effie's Big Gay Brunch this year, and I'm very excited about that. And Mercedes Martinez has also been announced for that show, which I'm very excited about because I love Mercedes Martinez, and I think that she doesn't get the flowers that she deserves, and so I'm very excited for the two of them.
Yeah, I think was it Nyla versus Dark Sheik. I think is on.
I think so. I was just about to ask you if you remembered because I saw the match being announced and I forgot. And yes, it is Dark. Or I think she's calling herself Shakrith. Was it Shakrith? She took Becca's 3. And so she was trying to say how it was pronounced. It was like Shathrika, because so Becca, who has wrestled she's wrestled in AEW like on Dark and Elevation, but she's wrestled 2 matches recently, and she spelled it Becca. The E was a 3, and so she's no longer that because she wrestled Sheik for her 3 and Sheik won, and so now she's just Becca, regular Becca. She's not Becca 3.
Yeah, she was also the person who took the picture with Andrade last night.
Oh, was that her? I didn't realize that was her with her hat, because her hat was on. I didn't realize that was her. Well, good for Becca. She's been getting some AEW work the last few weeks.
I will say, when Charles Mason kicked that girl in the face,
oh my God,
on that indie show, I was like, oh my God. I mean, I don't even expect anything less from Charles Mason, but holy shit.
It was insane. If you guys didn't see it, so Andrade wrestled Charles Mason at HOG Wrestling, and he did his bit where he was flirting with someone in the crowd, and while they were taking a selfie, or right after they took a selfie, Charles Mason came out of nowhere with this gigantic running boot and just full force hit this girl, who most likely is a wrestler. They've been using independent wrestlers for these spots.
I was like, I mean, Charles Mason feels how I feel about that gimmick, I guess.
And then Andrade was not happy and just beat the crap out of Charles for doing it, and it worked. I mean, it's very on brand for Charles Mason.
It is
to do that, but it was. If you have not seen it, and then somebody got it from a different angle, it was insane. And shout out to that woman who took that spot, because it was crazy.
I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
If you think that Kathy's hatred for Darius runs deep, you haven't seen anything for Charles. Because we've been following him. He came up in the New York, New Jersey scene. So, he's another one.
She has real hatred.
Them about what Charles
Well,
Mason
do we
did
have
to-
a clip? Is there a clip of that?
There
somewhere?
was a clip, but I don't remember. Doug
Yeah,
probably
there
has
was a.
it,
I
but-
will have to see if I can. One of us will have to see if we can find it, Brad. There was. Well, we can just post it on Twitter for everybody.
Yeah.
But there was GCW. One of the last times they were here. Doug has been on our show before. Doug does not have legs. He uses a wheelchair, and there was an interaction between Charles Mason and Doug.
He basically did like this to tell Doug to come at him. So Doug got out of his wheelchair, and you could I mean, he didn't break, but you could see that he had this look like, holy shit, I didn't think he was going to get out of his wheelchair. Then Para walked, because this is when he was with Para, so Para walked back into the thing like, what the fuck are we doing?
It was so funny, and there was like a gif of it, and I think there's of it somewhere. So yeah, it was.
It makes me wonder, Brad, if Kathy's one of those kids, or if she's gotten to an age, or if she's even into this at all, because it just depends on the kid. But is she is she mouthy with the wrestlers when she's at shows sometimes?
Not yet. She'll stare a hole through them, but she's not someone who will go at them.
When you said it, I was thinking about that kid that jawed with Jericho. And it just made me think about if she's, because I know my niece is her age, and she's not quite in a place where she talks to people in public like that quite yet. She just has the 13-year-old glare. The one that she's the one. She'll stare a hole through them like crazy. But she's, I guess, just not. If she doesn't like you, she won't talk to you. So okay,
that too.
That's even scarier.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun. It's so cool that you guys do. I just love, anytime I see kids at events like that, it's a lot of fun for me, because that's how we keep wrestling for when I'm in the nursing home, because the kids have to keep liking it. So I have something to do when they're rolling me around. As my friend says, and we're telling stories about how we saw Okada wrestle Osprey at the in Toronto. It's we've heard that story 900 times, Mel.
Well, tell me again. It's a great story.
You become the sure grandma meme.
Oh, I don't even care. If it's me talking about Osprey and Omega, and they're that's, I mean, You could be doing worse. I'm not angry. I'm not yelling at any clowns. I'm not making up some weird narrative about like what other people are doing in their lives. I'm not watching, my sole goal in life is to hopefully not become a biddy.
Yeah, right.
Actively trying to not be one of those people, especially as Daza said with the culture online. That's very much sort of the way that people talk, even in real life. Now they dial it down a little, but because a lot of people in leadership right now are acting a fool too, people think that it's okay to act that way. And I know that from just childcare, because you have to model behavior for people and they tend to act the way that the people in authority are acting. So that's just something that I know. But there's so much of it and it's so pervasive and it's online and it's out in the culture and everything else like that. And I too am fed up with it, but I've also reached a point where I'm starting to kind of, like you guys, the okay big dog is an excellent one for the back. John Oliver has an excellent thing where he'll tell a story and he'll just go, cool. And that's sort of where I am with people when they get on those, like what they did to Harley. I want to be like, guys, over here, look in my eyes. Enough.
Right.
Go sit in the corner, calm down, take some breaths. Your mommy and daddy will be here soon to pick you up. Just stop.
To be here to disconnect your internet and take you outside.
It's crazy. Once you've worked in childcare, it breaks you on adults. Because you always see like what age they stopped mentally sort of like getting to. So if you the people that I'm sure Daz has like worked with the public before and but you can see like what age they stopped emotionally maturing at by the way that they melt down usually. In my experience.
No, I think that's a pretty accurate statement. For sure.
Anyway, but that was the little tangent that we were talking about.
Just a tangent to close out the show.
I really appreciate you guys. It's been like I can't, when Sam and I were talking about putting together a 4th birthday party, I couldn't believe it. And I've been saying out loud, 200 episodes, 4 years, all you guys that have been here with us along the way. I'm super grateful for this community. I love it here. And this is like the best birthday present ever.
It is. Thank you. And we appreciate all of you taking your time. And even if you're not on camera and you're in the chat with us or listen on a replay, thank you. We talk about this all the time, but thank you for taking time out of your life to listen to what we have to say, and whether you agree or not, or you agree with some things and not all things, or try to trigger me with FTR
and the finger poke of doom.
And
is a trigger.
But no, seriously, thank you all. Truly, Mel and I talked. We talked about this when we celebrated 200 episodes. I know it was only a few episodes ago, but like if it weren't for you guys, Mel and I would just be talking to each other, which is not a bad thing. Mel and I enjoy talking to each other, but that's what we would be doing. We wouldn't have you guys. Obviously, you're the reason that we're here and that we're not yelling. And sometimes it feels like we're yelling into the void, but you're yelling into the void with us, or you're at least agreeing with us. So, but we really
we have our own void.
But we truly appreciate you guys taking the time to be here today. It really means a lot to us.
Thank you for the work you do, because it's so obvious that you put in. You don't just go out and just talk about stuff. It's obvious that you basically do a lot of research, and the stuff that you've done on the Janelle Grant. You guys have basically. I've not seen anyone, even when the story's gone cold. In some places, you've constantly been sort of doing updates when it was, So and that's aware. And this leads me to something I have to get on my off my chest. Dave Meltzer. So many of your friends and so many people like JD and Mike have got Hall of Fame ballots, and they all deserve it. But Sam and Mel do too. So
thank you. Jonathan has been on this train for a while, and we truly appreciate that. Means a lot. Hi, Kathy. Hey, Kathy. Welcome to Power.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thank you, Daza.
You put on. Yeah, definitely. I want to second what Daza said. I mean, it's fun to come in here and do stuff like this or talk about the silly, pastime that we all love, but then to get like last week where it had to be talked about what was going on. It's something that a lot of the shows just they'll either gloss over or they won't even touch it, and you guys have always done that. I mean, I remember when you first started and you were a recorded show and then you moved to the live, and
Yeah.
I remember because it was really mainly from the Great Fowler and his interview with Gigi all those years ago, and then finding this network, and I was like, wow, these are two wrestling fans who like the same stuff I do. They like New Japan. They're AEW was that's still very young, but they're enjoying that, and the Indies. I mean, I didn't. Besides a couple of friends around, I didn't know anybody who knew the Indies like Sam does. It's like, oh, she actually knows who these people are. So it was like so cool to find an actual place that it's not just a New Japan talk like you have on the network, which is a lot of fun, or an AEW only talk. It's everything, and it's really cool that way.
Thank you. That really means a lot. And we do we do. I mean, that we do. That's our tagline is. We did have to change it to Two Broads talking about the wrestling we watch versus what we like, because sometimes I watch things that I don't necessarily care for, or it cuts into the things. It cuts into my New Japan and indie wrestling time, and sometimes I feel like I'm losing touch with some of the indie stuff, and I don't know things as much because I don't get to watch it. But I do. What I do watch. I mean, I do still try to talk about the things that I do like to watch, and then also, like you said, I mean, we've talked about it before. The Janelle stuff is not a fun topic. It is not a topic and I can understand why people don't want to cover it, but we feel like it's, or at least I don't want to speak for Mel, but I personally feel like I have a duty to talk about that stuff, especially being a woman in this space, to give a different perspective, Mel she did not have to read. I was reading the lawsuits and Mel did not have to do that. And she did, so that we could have a conversation about it. And so I appreciate Mel stepping up in that way too, so that we can have these conversations and try to be thoughtful about it and try to, just give a woman's perspective on it. And it is something that we don't want to, at least I don't want to be part of the cover up. I don't want to sweep it under the rug. I want to be part of the solution, hopefully, and just bring awareness to it. But then thankfully in this space, you guys give us, the time to talk about the not fun stuff so that we can talk about this crazy sport that we all love so much. And that some of you, of course, maybe have not been here from the beginning. You guys have, like you said, you've been here. We were a recorded show in the beginning, and Garrett was holding our hands and had the training wheels on for us to help guide us through some shows before we went live. And then he kind of let us go, and Mel and I were like, we're doing this live now. And like our second show was back when Twitter Spaces was a thing, and we tried out Twitter Spaces, and that was our second show. And Mel often talks about how Revolution is has a special place in our hearts, because it was the first really big pay-per-view that we talked about, and because our show happened right around just a few weeks before Revolution happened. And so we really enjoy doing the pre shows and going down the card and giving predictions and having you guys give predictions, because we've talked about it before. Sometimes Nikki will be like, hey, we have something to do, and I'm like, yeah, but it's the pre show, and that we can't not we don't just stick to the card. We have to give opinions and get
we try, but we like to hear from everyone. We like to engage.
You guys are with us, and that you give us opinions, and Brad often is brings us back down to reality in some situations, and it's like, well, this is probably what's gonna happen. And so I appreciate I appreciate that you guys share your opinions with us, and even if we don't agree on things, you're still free to, of course, voice those with us. And so we appreciate the community that we've built here in the last 4 years.
Oh, I love being in the chat with y'all. It's great. I almost was like, well, I don't even know if I need to come to be on camera, because I'm always in the chat, and I like being in the chat. I love Metallica. If y'all hadn't figured out, put the connection together. But yeah, that was like something I made 20 years ago, and I still do love Metallica, so it's fine.
Yeah, YouTube is just exposing everybody.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's totally fine.
But it's always fun when she tells people about her podcast. I'm always like, yeah, and I'm in the chat. Come talk to me in the chat or with me in the chat.
That's really cool. I mean, it's always great to have any community and then just to have one that like expanded out from just us doing our thing. And again, Sam and I didn't like plan a lot of this stuff. This stuff just sort of fell into place as our format, as it were. And I will use a little quotes, kind of made itself. We let the show like place itself in the order that it's in now and kind of got used to doing those things. So I love seeing Kathy here.
We tried to stick to like an hour and a half, and
we could never do it.
Over, and then Mel and I were just like, you know what? We're not going to put a time limit on it. We're just going to
now,
especially because if you guys are in the chat, like I don't want to cut you off, like when we're having a conversation, or if you're asking us questions, I don't want to be like, time's up, bye. Like,
well, jokes on the media or on the network now because the new YouTube algorithm likes longer content over shorter content. So. We were doing it before it was cool.
We were ahead of our time.
Yeah.
Curry had said 1.5 hours. If y'all do an hour and a half, I'm going to ask what's wrong with y'all. Then something has to, like one of us must have somewhere we have to be after that. And it's funny because Mel and I both, though, on the 22nd, which is the week after Revolution, we both have IRL things that we have to do. But we were like, it's it's going to be the week after Revolution. Like we can't not have a show. So we have decided we're going to go on an hour early that day.
I was like, I still don't know if you can wrap it up in time.
We're going to go on an hour earlier on the 22nd so that we can talk with you guys about the fallout from Revolution and still
if you need anyone to step up that day, you've got, you know who to call.
Yes. Listen, we might have to tag Brad and Daza in. Nikki will be coming with me to the IRL thing, so it'll just be the Brad
and Brad would be a great.
I would say they'll be the.
They can get it. I know they have great opinions.
I would be particularly funny if I left the background that said two broads talking about the wrestling.
Well, and if Kathy wanted to, she's also, you could have her chime in about her opinions. Because Kathy, we hear that you're not so much a fan of Charles Mason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can be kind of scary.
Yes.
I heard she doesn't like Darius Carter a lot.
Yeah.
We'll be seeing Darius Carter is the champion at the wrestling that me and Nikki go to. He's the champion, and we'll be seeing him wrestle in a few weeks. He's gonna be wrestling Cedric Alexander for the title that day.
Okay.
And so I don't know if your dad told you, Darius was on our show before. He came on last year and came to talk to us about it. And I was like, oh no, I was like, Kathy's not going to want to watch the show that day. And that's okay.
Totally understandable.
Yes, definitely understandable.
Now you need to get Charles Mason.
Then Kathy definitely will stop watching.
Well, maybe not then, because we don't want Kathy to stop watching.
Kathy's like, have Billy. We need to get. Billy Starks, I know, is one of your favorites, and Billy Dixon, right, as well.
And Faye.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite wrestling move, Kathy?
What?
Do you have a favorite wrestling move?
I do not know.
No. I just wondering. Just curious.
Yeah.
She's not there yet.
If you decide and you think of an answer, tell your dad so that he can let us know.
Yeah, let us know once you find one.
My favorite wrestling move is the Canadian Destroyer. Okay. And Mel, tell her your favorite wrestling move.
Mine is the suplex. And most all of its variations, depending on the wrestler, the better.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, you guys.
But thank you all again. And also, before we leave, I did want to get to USVA's comment, USVA guy's comment. He said, time for a special birthday gift. Yay! If you're able to make it to the G1 Comics, fingers crossed. He will be inviting us to special podcasters and media get together.
Nice.
Yay! I'm working. I'm hoping that's gonna happen. I saw that I haven't had a chance to watch the New Beginnings show yet. Hopefully we're gonna get to it tonight. I've heard really great things about it. I heard that Shuri and Athena was everything that we thought it would be. And I do know about some of the title changes that happened there.
Luckily, I missed most of it. So
Nikki she doesn't know who she doesn't, and I guess it helped with Collision being taped because then they couldn't spoil anything. They couldn't spoil any of the results. But and then I saw that they showed the video for the G1 again, and so hopefully tickets. I guess waiting to see the ticket situation, but fingers crossed that will be. Nikki and I are really hoping we can make it, especially because not only is it the G1, which we love, but it's 2 days before Nikki's birthday.
That's right. Yeah,
we're hoping to spend part of her birthday celebration there.
Manifest Chicago.
Yes. Crash says Kathy learning through osmosis from two of the greats before she sets up her own podcast.
Oh my gosh. We would certainly help, obviously.
Yes.
But let Kathy decide what she's ready to do.
Yeah, for sure.
But we are always here if you have questions or want help. That's totally awesome.
Okay.
I know people that Kathy's age to do podcasts at this point too. So I mean, I heard somewhere that Kathy's into some stop motion stuff, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think that I know someone around your age that would be pretty hype about that as well. So I think that stuff's really cool.
That's awesome.
I love it. Love the creativity. IRL creativity.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's do this real quick because I think we'll probably wrap up the show. Let's start with Keela Cash. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being an official broad, always and wonderful. Will you please tell the people where they can find you and what anything else you might like to say?
All righty. Thank you so very much. Happy 4th anniversary to Sam and Mel. Congratulations on his milestone. I'll go in the lab and count the Raps episodes and see if they equal 200 between now and next week. I think we're close, or we're right there. But I'll be back tomorrow night around 11:20 p.m. Eastern with Salty Scott Young. Happy birthday to him as well. As we talk about, yes, happy birthday to him as we talk about the fallout from Elimination Chamber and all the things happening on Monday Night Raw as the long, painful road to WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas continues.
It's a new era.
Again, it is a new era. Again,
Keila, I would say take a drink.
It's March 1st, so it means it's a new era.
It's a new era. It's a new season.
Next week, it's going to be a new time. The clocks go forward next week, too. So
we lose an hour of sleep.
I know. It's all over.
Oh,
I know. I'm sorry. But yeah. All right. So make sure you do that, guys, because Keela and Salty Scott always have a lot of fun stuff to say on there.
And listen, we got to figure out, we got to help support them through the next 7 weeks.
Yeah, I would say take a drink every time. I would say take a drink every time someone points at the sign, but you'd be dead by the end of the first week.
Or the first hour of Monday Night Raw, most likely. We take prayers and donations and drinks.
Didn't Alexa Bliss point at the sign before the Elimination Chamber match even ended, or even... There was something about her pointing to the sign and then she got misted in the face.
Yeah, she pointed mid-finisher. Asuka misted her and well, that's your own fault.
Yes.
All right. Hey, Brad, is there anything that you feel like telling the people about, or what's
first, congratulations on reaching the 4 years, the 200 plus episodes. Much love to everybody. If for some reason you do feel the urge to follow me on Twitter, I'm Ace of Joshi, or just look for Big Beard Booty Daddy. I'm also that on over on the Not Evil Place on Blue Ski. I'm Big Beard Booty Daddy as well.
Sweet. And how about you, Daz? Is there anything you'd like to tell the people before we head out today?
Yeah, if you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, it's Dazza Loves Movies. Just look me up there. I do have a YouTube channel. There's not a lot on it. but I have again, it's Daz Loves Movies, but I have done a video of my top favorite 111 favorite movies, which is something I'm really proud of. And if you watch that, you get a sense of who I am and what my what my interests are when it comes to movies and taste. And again, just congratulations. Keep doing what you're doing. It's really appreciated. And Keela, just one last thing. I'm getting close to tracking down the Warriors, and I'll let you know how I get on.
Excellent.
Dazza, just for you before we leave. I have to, in honor of you, I have to do a quote. All right, now, for all you boppers out there in the big city, stay tuned.
Awesome.
We need to clip that.
Every time I watch that movie now, I think of you.
That's so sweet. That movie has a wonderful place in my heart. So many people I love that movie. It's amazing. It's a great movie, but the joy it brings to people I love, to so many of you, it's amazing how many of you you keep ending up in my circle. I love it. And real quick, because Nikki is an IRL artist herself, is there anything that you want to shout out for yours as well?
Well, I haven't really been using my art on X because I don't want my stuff to be stolen by AI.
Correct. Yes, we are big Blue Sky supporters here. Obviously,
I need to get around to making one for Blue Sky. I just am lazy and haven't done it, or I forget. I forget. That's a big thing, is I forget about it. But you can follow me on both of those accounts for my personal thing, and that's at Holy Ship.
SCH.
I love what you guys do with your last name. I love that you lean into it and enjoy it. It makes me happy. Sam, hot dog is a sandwich is. I remember when I first looked you up, when Garrett was like, "This is the person that I want you to maybe pair up with," and I love Sam's bio. It says, "If you're here for baseball talk, I talk about wrestling. If you're here for wrestling talk, I talk about baseball." I'm paraphrasing. And yes. A hot dog is a sandwich. And I was like,
it's
okay.
Not a sandwich.
It's not a sandwich.
It's not a sandwich.
Not a sandwich.
I'm on that train too. It is not a sandwich.
I just loved, I was like, okay, anyone that would go to the length of actually making this point is somebody that I am going to like.
Back when Twitter used to be fun. That was a hot topic, was if a hot dog was a sandwich.
Remember.
There were many debates about it, and it was spilling over where like baseball teams were asking players, like the social media team, the Braves social media team. The Braves social media team, who at the time was incredible, and they would ask, like, that was one of the questions, because it was such a hot topic, they would ask players like what their opinions were on it. And so yeah, it's been in my bio for years.
It's the boxers are breached of the 21st century, I guess.
It used to be in my bio too. I just took it out.
All right. So if that is good, I think we will let everybody head on off to their Sunday. And I appreciate all of you guys, everyone that's here, everyone in the chat.
Do this annually for no, I mean, like quarterly, for no reason.
Maybe we will. I mean, the people have spoken. They seem to like this sort of thing. And I mean, that's like you guys telling us you do actually enjoy it when we wander off. So that's. You just
talking about not wrestling.
I want everyone going forward.
We have we've had like pet corner, gardening corner.
I was gonna say, I just want everyone to know going forward that you asked for it.
Careful what you wish for.
But for sure, unless Sam has anything else that I forgot.
We'll be back here. We'll be here for our normal time for the next couple of weeks, and then on the 22nd, we will be an hour earlier. We will come in at noon Eastern, so that we can talk to you about what happened at Revolution before we do in real life things. But we'll be here at our normal time next week, and we will. And thank you to Mel for reminding me that Revolution is back on Sundays. So we'll be here on the 15th at our normal time for the pre-show to get you hyped for the card.
We will. All right. Thanks everyone for coming. We'll see you next week.
See y'all in the chat.